The chaos reigns. All right. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another session, another live stream here on the Chaos Rain Show. I'm Chaos Rain here. Tonight, or today, or you want to time century on, we're gonna put somewhat of a exclamation point or ending to this so-called movement that Western women are trying to adapt or follow, from what I'm understanding. Now if y'all understand, I've covered this maybe a few weeks ago, roughly. But now I'm gonna pull up a few videos that I was able to come across now, give some commentary, and then see how things go. But I will say this: Western women, as we see today, they're not in trouble. They're desperate right now. And when I mean desperate, is because let's be fair and honest. You're trying to adopt a movement, not flexible movement, to try to bait regular men, or even let's say men that are highly above average, to sit there to your whims and to your will because you got a box. Like literally, you are trying to convince and force your demands to Western men. I don't know sure how ludicrous that is, but that sounds preposterous. Oh, and I see Tevin in the building. What's good, Tevin? How you doing? I hope everything's well, Tevin. And one thing with Tevin, because he does support the channel, I'll say this: the man is moving with purpose. He's trying to better himself, his mind, his education, and just being a productive man in the society. I know, Tevin, it is the journey is very much rough, but it's all worth it, brother. Um, I will say this: because you like this channel so much, I appreciate the time and energy that you put into this. And like I said, when I first started doing this, I knew this was going to be a very weird journey, interesting journey, but I tackled the challenge because I know what I've been doing now for roughly almost 8.5 years, going on 9 in December, and doing YouTube for the last now 5 years. I know I want to not only bring a voice, but bring a different perspective of the world we live in today. And I look at the world as a whole as it's in chaos. There is no order. There is no order. Only disorder, and only man alone. Not when man alone could probably restore the order in which we live in today. But enough of that. Enough of that. Make sure you guys, as you come to the video, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel and share the stream. The links to follow me are the following. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add me a friend on Facebook, Eric Green on Facebook. You could also join. What else? Oh, you could join my Discord service as well. And what else? I'm trying to remember. And become join my Rumble page as well, CRain23 Rumble. And please, by all means, become a member of the channel. Membership does perks. I'm trying to get a certain amount of members so I could one day do a special members only live stream and be really raw, like literally, like seriously. But with your help, I could, we'll make it possible. We'll make it possible. And do I remember anything else here? I think that's it. But before we begin, I have to do this. I gotta do this for the culture. You feel me? You feel me?
What they be knocking, y'all? The sonic rings up out of it, and you.
As always, Tevin with the $20 super chat. The 4B movement was a shame. I'm glad you decided to do a part 2 on this. Yeah, you're gonna like this, Tevin. You're definitely gonna like this, because you're gonna hear from a few Asian women, actually from an Asian woman from Korea, and a man telling what really what's going on down there. So like I said, you might want to take notes. I'm gonna try to go as steady as possible this stream, and take my time with this one. And please, guys, as you go along, I don't have much moderators. Please hit the like button if you can, and please share it, and enjoy the chat room. And please subscribe to the channel. As you know, you subscribe, you could interact with the chat room. And like always, after a while, I'll do this, but periodically. But you know the deal. You know what I'm about to do. I'm about to do this right here.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Benny, bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right. So no further ado, guys. Let's be. Oh, and one other thing. Depending on how we go through this, I might how can I say this? I might finish with the other Chinese girl trying to sue this one black man. If everything goes well. All right. So no further, where y'all guys come here. Let's hear from the people from the land of Korea and the so-called 4B movement. Let's get it.
Coming back to the topic of dating, so my video on interracial dating 2 weeks ago received over 1,700 comments. It caused quite a firestorm in the comment section, so I want to come back to this topic. So I mentioned in the previous videos that China has a massive excess men problem. There's estimated to be at least 40 million excess men in China, and it is even worse in India. And the number could be as high as 70 million excess men. This is due to gender selective abortion and female.
Did you hear that? Not only, and I think this is China or Korea. I'm not sure what. I think he might be Korean, but nonetheless, there's a heavily surplus of more men than women. Now we all know how nature works. Out of anything in nature, you always want to have, if you're going to have an imbalance, you want to have at least roughly more women than men. And the reason why that is, not only because men, we do more and we will take more bulk of the load, and our life with our, how you say it, our expectancy of debt is going to be much more higher because we take more risks. You cannot live in a world where if you are running the government, running the land, and you decide to produce more of the producers and less of the ladies that will supply for the future producers, if that makes sense. In layman's term, you cannot have a production of men that do the doers and not the women that could produce the future doers. We've seen what happens when most countries are overly unbalanced, when you have too much men and very little women. What happens, and I'm going to say this, and this is going to be not favorable. Not favorable. And please, fast brother. What you notice, when men are only the majority and there's very little females, you know what men turn into? They turn into real monsters. What I mean, I'm going to explain. When men have to sit there knowing that there's more supply of them and very little supply of the cooch, they're going to fight and hurt and even go as far as delete other men. Yes, I said it. They'll fight and even go as far as delete other men if not careful. If not careful. But you see, that's what happens when you think it's better for society to have a whole bunch of men and very little women. And as you know, when you have either a one-child policy or you got two or more children, in nature's always going to produce more women. Not saying women are superior amongst the race, but women have a place in existence, just like men. And if you think in the land or in government where men facilitate the government, think it's better to have more surplus men and very little women, you're causing your own population to decline and, if not careful, potentially go extinct. Because last time I checked, we men, we don't produce children. Women do. and it takes two to make one. Let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in. So it's very dangerous to have more surplus of men than women. Let's keep listening.
Female child and infanticide. But however, there's an even bigger problem for the female side. So the recent number that's come up is 100 million. So what do I mean by 100 million? So right now it's estimated that between the ages of 20 to 40, there are at least 100 million women that is single, unmarried, and childless. That seems to be a little bit insane, considering that there are so many excess men. So every single Chinese woman should be able to easily find a good match, right? Well, that's what you would think, right? So in China, there's a term for this. It's called 剩女. So 剩女 literally translates to a leftover woman. Now, many years ago, let's say back in the 1980s, if you hit the age of 25 and if you're still not married, you were considered 剩女. And
now, mind you, if y'all remember, Kevin Samuels did bring up the term leftover women back in April of 2022. Remember, he transitioned in May 5th, 2022. And someone wrote in hold on a second, guys. All right, let me see. One guy wrote, I firmly believe that the 4B movement is, lesbian recruitment. Straight women can't date, however, lesbian. Yeah, and I'm gonna go into if you've noticed with the LGBT outside America, it has its place. I think it's more problematic mostly here in the West, in America. Outside that, some countries do adopt it through Western philosophies. But overall, when women up here try to fight and trying to, convince other women to stay away from men, it's only going to open the door for women to be with women.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
But let's continue on to the thing.
Then many women started freaking out about this, and they pushed the age back to 27 and 28. And now the standard in 2024 to be considered to be a 剩女 in China is at the age of 30.
Now, we got to understand, why would they push the age if it was originally supposed to be at age 25, you should be off the market, to now up to 30 in 2024? Simple, because they've been following Western philosophies, meaning they've been catch on through the feminism here in the West. And remember, understand how education works, gentlemen. Education as it stands today is not to free you or liberate you. Whoever told you that going to school is liberating you is lying. It's the last and final stage of indoctrination to make you a complete, fully slave, permanent slave in the mind. And then once you get the mind, the body is theirs. And trust me, I am not lying. How I know? Because the majority of people here in America and anywhere else, they always push education. Yes, I understand it. But the way we are today in the 21st century, now that technology is the way of the land, your best bet is to try to understand and learn as much possible and probably self-educate, including me. Learn some things, that has free software, some things that's available, you don't have to pay, and try to learn and understand and go as well, master it. For you to go into, especially most people go through primary school from pre-K to 12th grade. After that, there's college and trade and all that stuff. Most people, last time I checked, majority of them go to college. How we know? We could check by the data. There are a lot more people that's enrolled in college, whether they finish or not. They're going into the final stage of indoctrination. Now, everybody will complain and say, well, chaos. That's not right. So you're saying getting an education is worthless? We should not be educated? I'm telling you, you must use your own common sense and brain and figure out how you can maneuver in the 21st century now with the stages of technology, and how technology now is really, unfortunately, eliminating people and really paving the way for less people and more of technology doing most of the grunt work. So you have to figure out how you're gonna maneuver in this new environment without putting yourself in mental death and also put yourself in financial death. Debt. I hope that was clear. Let's continue.
So I mentioned this before. The standard for dating and marriage, the requirement for a man has basically become absolutely ridiculous. That very few men will ever meet these requirements. So all of these single ladies end up becoming cat parents. Here are some examples. For example, this is what you need for a man to find a Chinese wife right now in 2024 in the modern day. There's the height requirement.
Now, what you're seeing here, and I'm going to take this out so y'all can see this better. This is what the requirement for this year in Asia. Either this is in Korea or this is China. I think this is in Korea. That's my check. Said one, you gotta be a certain height, 5'10" and 8. So I mean, you gotta be roughly close to 5'10", maybe 5'11" would be good. They don't require 6 feet in Asia because I think the average height for an Asian man is like roughly over 5'7". Here in America, it's like roughly close to 5'10". Or 5'9". Roughly. Next you see here is a bedroom condo house minimum 100 and some wherever that is. That's in metrics or wherever. That means you got to own your own place. Okay, maybe simple depending on where they are economically. Maybe. Next, have a brand new car. Now, as y'all know, I'm not much a proponent people every year during tax season go invest and buy a new car. The only time you're supposed to invest in any car if you're making money. And when I mean making money, that your car should be able to get you from point A, B, and C. If it can't get you from one point to the next without no problem, then by all means, you might need a new car. But I would tell people many times, depending on what your economics, what you make yearly, your vehicle should be able to suffice you to carry around wherever you need to go for a few years. And another point I will say, you should not be having a car loan, meaning you should not be paying off to a vehicle. If you could buy a car for, what's the average price you could buy a car? Maybe $3,000-$4,000, maybe, can't remember. If you could buy it off just to get you around, you start from there. Now, after that, you could, if depending on how much money you make, you could buy another better car. But how I look at, and I'm just telling y'all something that I've learned and experienced. You won't do what I do, but I'm telling you right now, if you want to go about it in regards to cars, besides this stupid list, a car should be more useful to get you where you need to go without problem. And you should not have an extra bill. Because, you know, depending on the vehicle, car, and where you live and the state you're in, that car requires insurance. And most people, when they get insurance, they don't get limit liability. They get the full coverage off a new car. So he's spending more. And I know most Americans don't got like that. Let's keep real. So for this part for number 3 in Asia, a brand new car, that's preposterous. But to that woman that put that list, they look at for a certain sense of status. And trust me, you see those videos here in America. Let's just say a dude will rent a car and a woman will just be baited to jump on in, and even if you play cards right, they'll jump on your cock. Let's keep that in mind. A car lost value as soon as it runs off the lot. Yeah, and that's the other thing. The car does lose value after that. All right, let's keep going.
The vast.
One thing. I want to read rest of this list. Sorry. Another thing. High-paying white collar profession. That sounds like somebody that's making maybe over 75K or more a year. That means it's me. And I mean, white collar, they're not talking about trade job. They're talking about like places like business, like with suits. That's what that means when I look at number 4 on the list. Next one. Calais or dowry of 200 yen. The hell? A dowry? Since I'm Asians have dowries. This chick's bugging. All right, dowry of 28,000 paid in cash. Next. Next, I'm trying to find it here. Three-month salary on wedding ring. I don't know what she's expecting out of that, but okay. Next, dream wedding. And let me move myself off here because you can't see that. Dream wedding. I mean, they want you to spend a whole lot of money in this wedding. Okay. Good luck to that. And last, dream honeymoon. This is the list. Let's keep listening.
The vast majority of Chinese women, I would say over 80%, will only accept men who are at least 180 centimeters. In China, they use metric units. It's about 5 feet and 10.8 inches, which obviously I don't meet that requirement. On top of that, you have to provide a house. And typically, at the minimum, these Chinese women, they want 100 square meters or 1,076 square feet. It needs to be a minimum of 3 bedrooms. You need to have a car, which is brand new. You need to pay them 彩礼. So 彩礼 translates to dowry. What 彩礼is that it's a cash payment. It's made from the husband to wife. Basically, she's saying that she's the price. And if you want me to marry you, you have to give me this money. And this typically right now in China in modern day is roughly minimum 200,000 yuan. So 200,000 yuan translated to US dollars is roughly $28,000. You're expected to have a minimum income requirement. And also, you're expected to pay 3 months of your salary on the wedding ring. You're also expected to pay for your bride's dream wedding. It cannot just be a cheap wedding at some rec center. And on top of all of this, you're also expected to pay for her dream honeymoon in full. Ladies, on top of all of this, you're also expected to pay for her dream honeymoon in full. Ladies, you don't think that's a little bit ridiculous? I'm telling you,
No, they don't see it ridiculous. They look at you as the man to really meet their unrealistic expectations. They're not thinking that. They look at you as an Asian man and say you better fulfill the obligation. Okay. So they want you to deal with the unrealistic standards. They want you to provide what is in the list because they are ladies, they're women. Hear me roar that nonsense. Yes, you're going to meet these standards, or they're going to look at you as to get lost. That's how I look at it. Let me see. Let me think. Hold on, guys. All right, let's keep going.
Concept of hypergamy is 100% real. It doesn't matter where you go. And to other people asking me, have I tried to talk to my family back in China and they can possibly set me up? If it was easy, I would have done so many years ago. It's literally impossible. The first 2 things they ask you is like, what is your height? And I mentioned before I'm 5'8", right? Just boom, no go. After that, they ask you, do you have a house? And if you don't have a house, done. Women will not provide financially for their man. They just wait at the finish line. No, I'm just.
God damn, they are doing that in Korea or in China. We'll assume it's some part of the Asian country that they're expecting the same unrealistic standards like here in America. Now, there are some things that is realistic that a man could potentially fulfill, but all the other things in that dumb list, no, that they're asking for not only too much, but sweetie, the amount of percent of men if you meet a dude that gets that has all that, let's be serious. That tells me as a man, and gentlemen, see if you agree with me on this or not. And please, as I'm talking, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the Chaos Reign Show. As you know, there's no floating advertisement for this, roughly, because I'm going to go all in tonight. So with your support, I will prefer you support the channel with the Super Chat or Cash App. But other than that, the next best thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That unrealistic standards, right? That what it tells me that a good portion of modern women are, and they will, and they have already, will share a man. All right, let me keep playing. Okay, if I don't do this. All right, let's keep going. There he is.
Telling you this. I'm not trying to be a misogynist or sexist. I'm just saying this is 100% truth, right? She's not gonna date a guy that's broke. She's going to say that, you know what, let's work together. Let's grind away for the next 5, 6, 7 years so we can save up for a down payment, so we can finally get that dream condo that we wanted. This is why the number of Shengnu's in China is skyrocketing, despite the fact that there are tens of millions of excess men. And okay, if you don't believe in hypergamy, there's also a term for the top 1% of income earners in China, okay? It's called xiaosan. So this is all the top 1% of income earners. This is how these successful Chinese men, this is how they roll. All of them have a harem of women. All of them have the Andrew and Tristan Tate mindset. None of them will ever commit to one woman. I know, despite the fact that, there are tens of millions of excess men. And, okay, if you don't believe in hypergamy, there's also a term for the top 1% of income earners in China, okay? It's called xiaosan. So
wait, before we continue on to this, I see you wrote, ironically, these feminists will start off with her roar and end up with a meow with all those cats. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. A lot of women, brother, I think they made their bed and they line it, and they're fully committed and comfortable to be around animals and engage in nasty acts with the animals if they're not doing so already. What's good? But that's their fate. May God bless them. Let's keep listening. Fairs.
this is all the top 1% of income earners. This is how these successful Chinese men, this is how they roll. All of them have a harem of women. All of them have the Andrew and Tristan Tate mindset. None of them will ever commit to one woman. I know all of you ladies want to blame on the man.
And they shouldn't, because they know that what ladies want, and they know these women are going to do everything to get a little piece of a man that got and filled that stupid list that the guy read to y'all. And I'm going to say this, gentlemen. Make myself bigger. I'll say this. A lot of women, they want to be, and this is not so favorable, but we have to go there. And, I forgot my special soundbite. A lot of ladies today, and I mean loosely, are comfortable riding the carousel. They're comfortable riding the carousel. Just keep that in mind, please.
But can you really blame these men? Because all of the women wants these exact same top tier guy. So the term 小三, which literally translates to a little three, but it basically means a side chick. It means you're a backup tire. It means your part-time girlfriend. This is your summer fling, your situationship. All of the guys in China, I would say 99% of the Chinese men that's in the top 1%.
What that sound like? Doesn't that sound like modern women today, guys? They're in situationships. You always hear stories. What happened to your baby father, or whatever the person with that's you're supposed to get hitched or married? They said, "Oh, it just went different. He did this. He did no. He engaged and want to be, and you are comfortable be in a situationship." When I hear a situationship, the first thing coming to mind is that you are, sweetie, you're on the carousel. Stop lying. You're riding the and loving every minute of it.
Income earners have this kind of a 小三 mindset. They all have a harem of women. And there are so many Chinese women out there. They're just more than happy to be someone else's 小三. They would rather be the fifth backup tire on the back of that Toyota RAV4, rather than finding a guy that, let's say, makes $50,000 a year, that's not particularly tall or good looking, but it's a great husband material, has great moral standings. That guy will never cheat on her, and he will treat her like a queen, and he will respect her, and he will stay by her side for the rest of her life. Women.
Gentlemen, matter of fact, Kevin, where are you? Where are you, Kevin? Where's Kevin?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't
No, no, absolutely not. Nope, 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 nope. If you think and believe that that's what women want in the modern era, the modern 21st century, you're sadly mistaken. Absolutely not. That's not what they want. That's not what they're focused. They're hoping and praying that you will either be that. And listen, Andre is in the chat right now. I see right there. Hold on. I got something from you, Andre. This one goes to you, brother. This one's for you.
They be knocking y'all. The sonic rings up out of it, and you.
Andre from Love Crossing Borders, my man. And he has a channel as well. Excellent stream. And he's talking about the colorism in Latin America, the white worship. And you know, Andre, I got to go back and watch replay of it because that right there is very important that people don't know. Thank you for your I believe this is a $20 super chat from Colombia pesos. If my math is right, I believe so. Yep, it's $20. I appreciate it, Andre. And yeah, guys, you know, you gotta go over there and look for yourself because if you want to learn about what goes on in Latin America, Andre is the man. He knows definitely what goes on down there. You won't forget. And Andre knows well about the yeah, he knows well about the situation. Matter of fact, Andre, you trust me, I listen to your channel, you tell us stories of the amount of nice looking, sexy black women that used to, you know, blow the backs out, clapping them cheeks, and even go as far as, you know. All right, let me stop because you're gonna get in trouble, Andre. All right, let me stop. All right, let's continue, man.
Won't do that. So they would rather live the life of a Xiaosan. And obviously, there's one more element that I want to mention. I can't blame all of this on the ladies. Some of it is fault of the parents, also the pressure from the society, and also from the Asian culture. For example, they want everybody, you know, to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, to become a lawyer and engineer. That's not for everybody. And if anything, you got to give these jobs to the man. I'll give you an example why so many women are becoming shengnus in China. Okay, so if you want to become a doctor, you want to become a lawyer. So by the time you actually get all of your qualifications, you're going to be at least 30 years old. When a woman goes through this learning process and when she accumulates all these credentials and when she becomes a successful career woman, you know, many of these women are, you know, 30, 35, 40. You wasted your best years. You wasted your prime. What makes you think that, you know, a guy that...
Yeah, but you see, my Asian friend, that was the whole purpose of westernization, to run these chicks to the ground, to have them go to school, maybe graduate if they finish, roughly. And if they didn't finish, they go back to school and get more degrees. And after it's all said and done, and much they get basic jobs. They don't get like super important jobs that really pay nothing above. If it's not above 75K, the goal, if anything, 6 figures. Most of the jobs women work and do today, not even close to that. And trust me, I think I have people in the chat room that can vouch for this. That you go to school just to maybe you don't need a man, and I mean you're not searching for a man, so you keep going back in there. And let's be honest, you go back to school to run your body count, like some of the content creators say, and once it all said and done, you're ready for a man to settle down. And that's cool. That's cool. I'm saying I take a different approach. It's better off if you go in school and you're gonna be going back to school, make it worth something where if you're going to find some dude that you're going to just possibly make a life, that's not hard. But a lot of women are not doing it because, like the guy said, just what we find here in America, a lot of women are looking for either two things: the guy that could be in the top 10%, or a guy that's, I guess, attractive enough to really, you know, let him shoot up the club and produce what they consider an attractive child. And then after, if you the man that does what you have to do, they'll come back for you and say, I'm ready for you. I think, to me, way how Western women moves today, I think is an insult to a lot of men that at least did something of their lives. a minor people, but at least did some in lives that no one can complain. But they get the most shitted on the most, which it baffles me. How the fuck you shitting on somebody that did what they'll do? How dare you, bitch? How dare you? Do not compare regular men that do what I do to all the dudes that you've been sucking and fucking for God knows how long. How fucking dare you? Anyhow, let's keep going. Fair use, fair use.
Let's say that's a neurosurgeon that's making, $400,000 a year. What makes you think that he will choose a wife that's 30 or 35 years old, where he can choose an 18 or 20 years old? And of course, there's also the role of the extremely strict parents, and they tell their daughters that, oh no, no playing time, no boyfriend, no social media. You have to study hard. You got to go to school. You got to get your undergrad. You got to get your master's. You got to get your PhD. You got to get that $200,000 a year job. And then finally, by the time they get all of their credentials, they're 30, 31, 32 years old. And now their parents start blaming them. They say that, oh, how come, look, all your friends, your best friend got married when she was 22. She's happily married with 2 kids now. Another friend got married at 24. Another one got married at 25. All of them are happily married. They've all secured high-value men. Well, whose fault is it? So if you try to back out from your career, you try to look for a man, your parents will blame everything on you. They say that, oh, you're ashamed to your family. But if you dedicate everything to your career and become a career woman, you become a leftover woman in your 30s.
Let me wind that back, guys. Hold on.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
One more time.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
One more time for the gram.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Going childless. So
But yeah, but that's the whole intention. And isn't ironic? And I see Andre. Yeah, that's what it is. How you push your own children, especially daughters, to school. And if you guys don't mind, if y'all want to share this on your social media, you could do that. That's fine. I would appreciate it. How can you, as parents, push your daughter to go to school, get this career, wherever you want to call it, right? And then complain after they've been in school for more than a decade, because usually people leave high school at roughly 18 years of age, sometimes early as 17. And they go for the first 4 years of school, or undergrad, whatever you want to call it. Then they go back to school, maybe get a master's, and what? They go back to get a PhD. You look at roughly 27 years old, maybe 28. And then, lo and behold, what now? You go back to school again until you're up in you look at you already spent roughly more than 12 years in a school, racking all these credentials, degrees, and there is no man at the end of the finish line. And the reason why that is, if this is true what he's saying, because their parents don't prioritize the importance to their daughters, if that's what's going on. Now, some daughters will eventually call it quits and will, make a deal before they hit 25. But most of them, if they've been trained, like what the guy said, and I will even not tell them, but I will agree with him. If that's what's going on, then obviously you're creating the same awkwardly female that's going to be a part of the world or in the dating world, not knowing what to do and really criticize what's wrong with the men. See how that works? Fair use. Let's continue.
this culture itself is extremely poison. Ladies, just remember that, men and women are different. We have our different values, we have our different needs, and we have our different struggles in life. Your struggle is that, by the time you reach the age of, 27, 28, 30 years old, you're going to have to make a decision. You have to either choose between finding a man and starting a family or becoming a single, successful career woman. You can only choose one, okay? It cannot work both ways. You cannot become a career woman and a mother. So, which one is it going to be? And if China hopes one day to reverse this trend of the population collapse, which I don't see it happening. I do genuinely believe that this is a agenda pushed by the elites of the world, and they want to destroy the nuclear family. They want.
No, it's too late. Too late. The agenda is fulfilled. And if you don't believe me, guys, and let me check how many likes I got, because sometimes I don't check it. Let's take a look. Okay, we can have more likes. As you guys come in, likes are free. Just hit the like button. When you said these agendas, these conspiracy theories, right? Right? You don't have to worry about that, because if you have to concern yourself that it was some bigger agenda, the agenda has already been fulfilled. Actually, the agenda is actually complete. I want to keep real with y'all. It's complete. Oh, and another thing, oh yeah, I think you get the damn. Just be careful, Tevin. I don't know why the bot did that. It spammed it, but yeah, be careful, because they're gonna start deleting that, because that's form of spam. But don't worry about it. The agenda for what it was called, cutting back the fat of people in regards to numbers of people, that's already concluded. Like literally, it's concluded. What I mean by this, you're already seeing the population already at 8 billion. Now, we could say the next decade, it might still continue to grow, or it might start to really have a stagnation or decline. At the end of the day, the population is the population as it's set forth. Keep that in mind. They're trying to get it to a respectful number. I think the number they're trying to seek for, regardless how much people should be on the earth, the goal number would be, if I remember, 500K. Now, for that, it means you have to really delete roughly 90% of your population. So you can't do this with physicality. So what's the next best thing? You're going to have to start using other alternative methods, meaning you're going to have to manipulate the environment. Now, I hope you guys not getting too spooked me saying this, but we got to be honest. What's the purpose of educating and putting women in a position run by other institutions and run by people who really pushes, direction where society should go? Why they do this? Because they're trying to curve and cut the fat. And when the cut fat is the amount of people. And you're only going to achieve this by convincing one gender to be unrealistic, so the other gender is not going to waste their time, meet the unrealistic standards. And what's going to happen? Two of them are not going to come to agreements. They're going to separate ways, and they're going to be to say, I'm not going to interact at all. Let that sink in. Oh, another thing. Y'all know what time it is.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Benny. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
Y'all know what the deal is, man. Make sure you guys support the channel. Super chat or Cash App, either or, all contributions will be welcome. As you know, we're almost at the goal. I mean, usually the goal is supposed to be $50. So with your support, it will go a long way. So now let's continue on with the tape.
Destroy this society, and they want to destroy the world. But if there's any way to reverse this trend, is that you have to give all the good paying jobs to the man. I'm sorry, that's just the
That's not
reality,
happening.
because women will never ever marry or procreate with men who make less money than them. So if you give all the good paying jobs to the woman, society is going to end. And that is a universal principle. It's accepted by the heaven and the earth.
The chaos reigns.
All right. So there you have it. There you have that section. That's the section there of a man talking about his plight, his struggles, dealing with the unrealistic dating market here, where he's at, either in China or Korea. I think it might be in Korea or China. Could be wrong, but so that's a man's perspective, what he sees about what's going on. Now, what you're going to listen to now, you're going to hear the lady that's right there in Korea where this news broke out. She's going to tell you what really is going on out there. And let's be honest, you're not going to like, the lady's not going to like this, because I know why they're doing that. Because in their plight, they're hoping, because we live in America, right? They're hoping, they're trying to convince, and I'm talking about not just regular women. And when I mean women, for the sake of this conversation, it's beyond what they call Caucasian women. It's pretty much every race of women here in America is trying to listen and adapt to what's going on in Korea, which is not true, including black women. Which, black women can't follow this and adapt this anyway, because let's be honest, they've given up the coochie by, let's be honest, the small population of black men. And if it's not black men, they're damn sure giving it to other groups of men. How we know? Because they're having their babies. And they bring back to community with the one drop rule. And this is a funny thing. They talk about black men having more children that's not recorded or documented from black men. But they obviously can record your babies. So if black men had outside babies that's from other groups of women, they obviously would keep the numbers. How we know? America is very well known. And let's be honest, most non-black women that engage with black men and they have this kid, that's the number that they document. Now we could say they could probably conflate it and say they want to critique that as if a black man knocks up a non-black woman, they will not consider that black. Maybe, because let's be honest, they keep track of what people are doing, not only in the land, but what they're doing with their, what they do with their sexual organs. They keep eye of everything. So black men did have more children than, let's say, black women. They well document that. And trust me, they keep document of what men are doing out there and who they're procreating. And trust me, out of all groups of men, I think the European man is top of the list. Second is Hispanic, which is pretty much white. I think third might be Asians, surprisingly, and then small population. And I think we either third or fourth, black men is around that, but it's not really high, because it's not just black men is not more responsible, is he's not going to risk it, because let's be honest, a lot of dudes complain about child support. Anyhow, so now what I'm about to do, I'm going to play the lady now. And trust me, y'all can like this one. All right. So let's run this. Fair use.
Ever since I uploaded this video, which was laying out the reasons for South Korea's 0.7 birth rate, a whole lot of drama has happened since then, both on here and on TikTok. So let me explain to you guys about everything that happened and explain to you exactly what the 4B movement is. So what had happened was I was scrolling on TikTok a few weeks ago, and I just kept getting the same type of videos on my For You page. Videos made mostly by American women saying that all Korean women are following this thing called the 4B movement. Let me play a few of these videos.
The 4B movement is a movement in South Korea. Misogyny and sexism is so bad that South Korean women have decided to opt out of dealing with men entirely. That is not a joke. That is not an exaggeration. They are not dating men. They are not marrying men. They are not having children with men. They're not even sleeping with men anymore. And it's called the 4B movement because the Korean words for those four things all start with the letter B. This kind of first started happening around 2016 when Kim Ji-young, born 1982, a novel came out. And it is a fictional book about a Korean every woman and all of the misogyny and sexism that she's experienced from literally being a child all the way to her being an adult, suffering with postpartum depression after having her child. Now, this book became a runaway bestseller among South Korean women because they were like, she's just like me for real. And that's kind of when it started cooking, right? Now, the movement officially got its name in 2019, and it's just been going ever since. It's so successful.
You know, it's funny. She does look like, I think she is one of them, LGBTQ ladies with the buzz cut. It's not really looking good. She look like a boy. Yeah, that's not sexy at all. Anyhow, let's keep going.
in fact, that now South Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. The number of deaths in South Korea outnumber the number of births in South Korea. And it's hilarious because all the men and the government are like, oh my God, what do we do? They don't want to like talk to us. They don't want to date us. What do we do? Like everything's in shambles. We don't know what to do. When South Korean women have been very clear from day one, they're like, hey, either you get your act together or we are literally eliminating all of this. Like we are shutting it down. So that's the 4B movement and why I'm so obsessed with it and why I think we should have the 4B movement everywhere.
I think it's so fucking.
Obviously, she would love the 4B movement. To be honest with you, because let's keep real. It gives the possibility of having more access to the box to eat. And I'm not talking about eating the booty like groceries. I mean the box to eat. That's what her intention is. One guy, right? It's always a dirty tennis ball head chick with the man hate. Yeah, man, you're right about it. It's always the chick with the low haircut, and you could tell that she's very mannish to really talk about the hatred of men. It baffles me. I mean, I'm astonished. Let's keep listening.
It's funny that Korean women are so done with Korean men that they're literally just deciding to die out. Y'all heard of the 4B movement? I'm a big fan. Korean women literally just gave up on their men. They're fucking assholes. They're not gonna change, so we're all gonna go extinct. Which they literally are, by the way. Korea has like the lowest birth rates in the world. It's like really bad. But I just think that's so fucking funny. That's also very Korean. Like Korean as an ethnicity is about to go away, and Korean women are literally just like.
I was trying to figure out where the sudden influx of 4B was coming.
And that last chick right there, you could tell she don't got no man. If she is, she's in a situationship. Last chick, man. I have a feeling she's in a situationship for her making that statement. But you can't tell a lot of ladies nowadays. They don't do the shadow work to really get theirs in order. All right. Matter of fact, I got something for that lady. Some of these women need some very heavily voodoo.
Vision. Ambition.
Yeah, they need that. Let's go on.
From. So I typed in 4B Undong into Naver, which is Korea's biggest search engine, and there was no recent articles or anything in the news recently written about this. So I typed it into English into Google, and then I saw some few articles from Elle or The Cut, and the TikToks that were being made were referencing these sorts of articles. So I had seen these videos, and also my friend Annie, she had made a video on TikTok saying that most women in Korea do not know what the 4B movement is. I decided to make one as well and clear everything up. This is the video that I made. So most of the 4B movement videos that I've seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like I said, I live in Seoul. The Western media
Let's rewind that back, guys.
What the 4B movement is. I decided to make one as well and clear everything up. This is the video that I made. So most of the 4B movement videos that I've seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like I said, I live in Seoul. And also my friend Annie, she had made a video on TikTok saying that most women in Korea do not know what the 4B movement is. I decided to make one as well and clear everything up. This is the video that I made. So most of the 4B movement videos that I've seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like I said, I seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like I seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like.
Well, there you have it. It was developed and created here in America. And we all know America is well known for what they consider fake news. And you said right on the mark, Andre. I'll pull it right up. Fake news. Damn shame. Sisters create this type. Yeah, not only them, but also, if you think about Andre, Korean people that were born and raised in America came up with this and put out this erroneous propaganda. What's going on outside of America? That speaks for itself. Let that sink in. American propaganda created what was going on outside America to sit there to create attention, unwanted attention that's not true, or what's going on other people's backyards, in regards how men and women interact. That's considered dangerous. When you think about it, that's very much dangerous, in my opinion. But let me see. Just as made up as the bill. Yeah, I talked about that on my other channel about the billionaire, which black woman or one black woman created a little blog, him saying that, and he didn't really say it, but they create anyway because they use it justify to push the notion and try and point the fingers back at black men. Say, see, other men want us, even billionaires want us. They say we make the best wives, but you don't get married.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Yeah, let's listen.
I live in Seoul. The Western media likes to really pick up on these sensationalist, provocative topics and then makes it into an article, and then everyone on TikTok follows suit and makes videos about it. I am 29, going to turn 30 this year, and literally all the conversations that I have with my friends around my age is about, oh my god, we're looking to get married, we need to find good partners, and we need to do this before it gets too late or we're just like aged out of their marriage market, you know? There are services in Korea like marriage matchmaking services where people go and you pay a broker and you submit all this information about yourself, your income, your assets, your family background, if you have any debt, like which university you went to. You submit all that information and then they will try to match you up with people who they think that you're on par with. People go to these marriage services and they're heavily used. There are literally so many in the country because everyone is using them. The 4B movement in Korea is a very, very small fraction of the whole Korean population in general. It's just the Western media likes to highlight that part and make it seem like it's the biggest issue in Korea, which it really is not. I can promise you that. Don't believe all those sensational articles written online all the time. Most people in Korea still like the other sex. We want to date, we want to find love, we want to get married. Those are like the big majority. And it's only the small group of extreme radical misandrists and extreme radical misogynists. They just seem like the loudest because the most attention goes to them. And since then...
You saying you can't control your...
Yes, you cannot control your is. You can't control your issues. Yeah. Oh yeah. And let me read. It's basically fake progressiveness, trying to find a movement where there is none. Yeah, it's very fake. So, like I said, the women up in there, personally, in Korea, have no problem with Korean men. But the West pushes this propaganda because they want to justify what goes outside the world, what they do here in America. I find it to be very weak, like literally very weak. Matter of fact, it's very pathetic, if I want to be honest, because why go out your way to create a movement out of nothing to push here in America that the other world is doing well? I don't know any movement, gentlemen, you could probably correct me, that's running well, that women got what they want with these unrealistic standards. Has any movement been successful yet? I want to hear from you guys in the chat room. If you want to put in a super chat, that'd be good. But before we go on to that, you know what it is, guys.
But they be knocking, y'all. The sonic rings up out of it and you...
You're in Victorious. $5 super chat. Supporting the cause. Thank you, brother, for your super chat. I appreciate it. I surely do appreciate it. All right. So let's continue on with the tape.
racked up 1.2 million views on TikTok, and there were loads of people who are stitching it, making responses to it, and also people getting upset that I used the phrase extreme radical misandrists. But I'll speak about this in a bit. So this term 4B originated in Korea circa 2017 to 18 from feminist Twitter groups. And I'm getting this information from a Korean website called femiwiki.com, which is similar to Wikipedia, I'm guessing. And this website was made in 2016 by Korean women, so I'm getting it directly from the source. And on this website, they define 4B as radical feminism's motto for non-marriage, non-birth, non-love, and non-sex. So in the literal sense, it's a concise expression of celibacy, but the radical feminist groups use it as a feminist slogan with the intent of dismantling the patriarchy rather than the meaning of celibacy due to personal preferences and choices. But
That's not celibacy, sweetie. That's more like being a femcel. It's like being, what's the word? And gentlemen, you know, when they talk about celibacy, let's be brutally honest. Listen to me good. Listen. There's no such thing as a celibate woman nowhere, either in the West or beyond. All women today, I mean all of them, yes, all of them, they're engaged in some form of perverse activities, whether with the same sex, or they're using foreign objects to, you know, dig in their box and, you know, self release, in other words. So I hear constantly conversations, especially in certain sectors of YouTube, when I hear women tell me say they celibate. I said, really? Do you play with toys? I can't answer that. Do you use your hand? Well, yeah. Then you're not celibate. Baby, stop it. Stop the cap. You're still engaging of you're engaged in, you know, let off your juices. The only difference is you're not doing with a man, you're doing by yourself. So stop it. And you know I'm not lying. All right, let's keep playing. Fair use. I didn't say so, but I'll say not fair use. And we're almost to the goal. So please, guys, keep supporting the channel, you know, super chats and etc. And if you have a general question, it'd be better off with a super chat. Fair use, fair use. Let's go.
truthfully, I had never heard of this term 4B before, and neither had any of my friends or family. There are plenty of people currently doing Pihon and Pichusan, which means no marriage and no kids. And in my previous video, I listed out the reasons as to why this is happening. People are much more individualistic these days. They prefer being free and living life on their own terms. Getting married and having kids is expensive as hell and too much of a burden. But 4B is much more than that. It's rejecting dating and having sex as well, which is quite extreme. So when I saw those videos of these American women saying that all Korean women are giving up on their men and shunning them away, and this is what's going on in Korea, I just felt the need to point out that no, these women doing 4B are not the majority of the Korean population. And yes, there is a growing number of people choosing not to get married and have kids, but despising and hating men is not the main factor for this, as those TikToks were making it out to be. And the reason.
But you see, that was the whole purpose of TikTok. And I'm going to say this personally, TikTok is already on the clock. As you know, the United States already struck down to have it removed, and no one buys it. So right now, there are going to be some billionaires, as we speak right now. We're in the month of May going on to June. TikTok will be bought by an American person, roughly a billionaire or a group of billionaires, going to buy TikTok. And they're going to put some restrictions on it. And the reason why they're really going out the way to buy it now and try to get it regulated is because the information put on TikTok is too freely, especially we're coming into election year. And there's a lot of information that's put out there, unfortunately, and they can't afford an app that's not run by them to control what we call propaganda. So, you know, obviously, they made a business decision. And right now, TikTok, as we know, with all this false propaganda that's been put out right now, it's going to be regulated. So let's keep going.
Reason why I brought up the marriage matchmaking service in my TikTok video was just to prove the point that many people in Korea are still actively wanting and trying to find a partner to settle down with. I found it hilarious how some people were suggesting I was being paid by some of these companies. Please show me where in my bank account where that money is. Please, I would like to see. There are estimated to be around 3,000 of these services in the country with a total market size of 50 billion to 70 billion Korean won, which is around 35 to 50 million dollars. They claim to be more successful than ever, even during these pihon times, and customers keep coming to them to try and find a suitable partner. The same goes for dating apps. The usage of dating apps was obviously at its highest during COVID times because people were locked inside and they couldn't really go outside so much. But since
that goes across all countries when the lockdown happened. A lot of people had a lot of idle time. I think they had too much time, to be honest with you. And because of this time they had on themselves, they actually, if you think about it, to be perfectly honest, when you have idle time, that's where the devil's playground ensues. And what's the best thing people do when they have too much time in hand? They're gonna do two things. Either they're gonna be watching a whole lot of television, or they're gonna be screwing, one way or the other. So obviously there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be looking for somewhere to rest their head in, or someone to really clap some cheeks during times of lockdown. It is what it is. Let's continue.
those restrictions have eased now, the dating app market hasn't taken a hit. The number of downloads of dating apps stood at 1.187 million as of January of this year, which is up from 8% compared to a year ago. From my observation and from everyone around me, everyone still wants to date, still wants to try and find someone. There are, of course, many people, even including myself, where we're like, I want to take a break from dating. I just can't be bothered with it right now. Obviously, there are time periods when you go through that, but I've yet to meet anyone around me who genuinely says, I will just not date at all anymore. But there are also certain people in society who can't date no matter how much they want it and no matter how hard they try. They're referred to as involuntary celibate people, or for short, incels. These kinds of people end up developing extreme unhappiness, loneliness, and dissatisfaction with the world. And they have a tendency to turn to online communities where they can find other people in similar situations for support. And this can be for both men and women. The problem with these online communities is that they can turn toxic extremely.
Like the femcells on the internet. Now, mind you, I heard about incels. I talked about the incels back in 2020, I believe, or was it 2019? 20 years I had to talk about it, and I did it for a good reason. It is somewhat a problem, but let's be fair, honest. Most dudes that don't even try potentially won't get it, and I understand because we live in a digital age, and let's be honest, a good portion of the male population we're too lazy. I think a good portion of us stay in our house too much. Some of us don't even want to go out and just interact and conversate with people. And some things I will harp most young people, and I'm speaking to myself and to y'all, it's a necessity. We have to go out there in the world and interact with people. I mean, what's the worst thing? A woman's going to say no, which can be bad. And trust me, you're going to find these little chicks or wherever, I mean her age, she's going to nuclearly reject it because some women get a frail doing it. I tell you, brothers, anytime you deal with a bitch like that and she nuclear rejects you, you got to have the fortitude to turn and walk away and hope and pray that she doesn't need you in the given future, because you're going to remember that. That's as far as I'm going to go. Let's continue. Fair use.
Fast, hurt, lonely, angry people gathering together usually yields some unsavory results. And this leads to communities such as the male-centered misogynistic Ilbe and the creation of Megalia in 2015 that was full of misandristic posts, which was mirroring the actions of Ilbe users. And yes, I do mean to say misandry, because TikTok people got very triggered that I said that word and said that it wasn't real. What do you mean it's not real? Definition: misandry means hatred or prejudice against men, and misogyny means hatred or prejudice against women. And on Megalia and Ilbe, both sexes were posting some extreme things about the opposite sex. These were considered so toxic and so extreme that it was considered social suicide for anyone to admit freely that they were an active member on one of these communities. I'm gonna
Wow, Jesus Christ. Yo, listen, people in that part of the world, Korea, they don't mess around. Oh, I don't know about that, man. Now, mind you, this is not something that I'll say this. If you're a man it's still good for you to travel outside the United States and travel to Asia if you can. And the reason I'm saying is because this is not a promotion, because you got to understand how the world really works. And you will not understand unless you go to these places. Now, Korea has issues right now from me listening to this. Will I tell the next man or young man that's going to travel and they want to travel to this part of the world? I will not be so convincing to tell them not to go here. I would tell them, say, go there, learn as much as you can, and be cautious. Because I, like most people don't understand, I promote people to do what is in their heart and just go out there, just do it. So you just get the experience and know what life will treat you. That's the best way I'm going to say it. That's the only way I'm going to say it, personally. All right, let's keep going.
Start some of the examples of the things that they did. I'm not sure if I can even put this on YouTube without getting demonetized. If I can't, I'll just put it in the link down below. These are literal cancer and a breeding ground for hate, which is why I said extreme radical misandrous in my TikTok video, and I weren't back down from saying that because it's true. I saw many people commenting, well, misandry doesn't harm anyone. Well, you can clearly see from the examples that I gave above that clearly it does harm. I believe hatred against men is just as real as hatred against women, and I can't have a reasonable conversation with you if you think that's not the case. This is why the word feminism is viewed with such disdain in Korea. When I lived in the UK and when people said, I'm a feminist, sometimes even men would say I'm a feminist. It was just like a really peaceful, I believe in equal rights and opportunities for men and women. That was the only meaning. But in Korea, the concept of feminism wasn't really in the public sphere until about 2015 when web.
Really? That's only 9 years ago. That's interesting. So it tells me that Korea is very heavily patriarchal. They don't play around these things about these special terms and this, what is it, equal rights for women and stuff. So okay. Wait. I gotta do this, guys. So you know what time it is.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
All right, guys. You know the deal. Support the channel, either super chat or the Cash App. Cash App's rolling down. And actually, yeah, I pinned that. So let's keep going.
Like Megalia opened as a response to the incel online communities, and they mirrored all of the horrible things that they were doing. So they ended up becoming exactly the same and just as bad. There was no peaceful or reasonable feminism in Korea from the beginning. It was all about hating and mocking men, which is why if someone in Korea comes out and says, I'm a feminist, seen as a psychosis or someone with really questionable ethics, it would be the equivalent of a guy proudly saying, hey, I'm an Andrew Tate supporter. That's how feminism is viewed. Megalia ended up dissolving due to the disputes about the posts about the gay men, and the group of people who opposed the decision to ban these posts, they left and formed another website called WOMAD, which is just as bad, if not worse, than Megalia. WOMAD is still up and running, but it's not active at all. There were not many active users when I went to visit it, but some of the posts I was already seeing, it was like, I want to murder a Hannam bastard, which Hannam is a very derogatory term for Korean men. So he's like, I want to kill Korean men. So I just left immediately. And the other
Yeah. That's a yeah, that's extreme. Can't everybody just get along? I mean, why resort to violence, ladies, sweeties? It's unnecessary. Your if your father was involved in your life, you should not take on such dangerous measures where you want to underline or flick harm to the opposite sex. I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Matter of fact, it makes me around these certain women dangerous if they think and operate like this. And let's just think about American women here. If they operate the way other foreign women really think and operate, man, I'll tell you one thing: it would be a hell on earth. Literally. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
feminists to Twitter or another website called 여성시대. So that's why unless you're within those feminist groups, most Korean women have not heard of this term 4B. I asked everyone around me if they had heard it when it was blowing up on TikTok, and they were all like, what's that? And if I try to explain to you guys why Korean men seem to be so anti-feminist, because from a Westerner's perspective, it looks bizarre. I understand. Of course, there might be some pushback in feminism in other countries too, but it's quite rare to see 20-something-year-old men holding rallies protesting against feminism, like how they do in Korea, right? And everyone brings up the fact Korea has the worst gender pay gap among the OECD nations, so why are they protesting? So let me explain to you why this is happening. First, the issue of mandatory military service is a deep point of contention within Korea. Men used to spend 2 years, now it's been reduced to 1 year and 6 months, but they have to serve for Korea with extremely low wages, get no respect from the public. Some might get injured or killed sometimes, while women are graduating and getting into the job market. And if suddenly North Korea attacks us right now, all the fit, able men just have to go and serve, no questions asked, while the women stay home. So in this way, men are...
I mean, that's how men should be operating. They should be out there, you know, protecting their nation, their land, go out in the military, do the man stuff, you know. The saying go, men should be men at the end of the day, and I have nothing against that personally. I'm not sure what's the big deal. I'm not sure if women in Korea are fighting to be like men, like we're seeing now. I mean, you can't handle the blunt or the issues or even the demand some men are going to do. So I don't know, man. Anyway, let's keep going.
Already viewing women as more privileged. And also in terms of if there's an accident on a plane, on a ferry, on a ship, who gets rescued first? Women and children. Secondly, the Korean men in their 20s right now is different from the men who are my dad's generation, who definitely did benefit from the patriarchy. For example, my dad, he is one of 5. He is the middle child and he has 2 older aunties, but they couldn't go to university, but my dad could because he was considered the man of the family. The men have to go get a good education and get a good job. Whereas my 2 older aunties, they couldn't go. So he always feels a sense of guilt about this. And yes, there was a preference back in the day for boys being born, but this has long time been demolished because that was when Korea was still kind of coming out of poverty. Only boys could go into higher education and earn a decent living. But now women make money too, and just as many, if not more, women are enrolling into higher education. And daughters are viewed as treating and looking after their parents much more compared to sons when they're older. So many people are saying, oh, I want to have a daughter these days instead of a son. People bring up that feminist book, Kim Ji-young, born 1982, to bring up examples of how Korean women are treated so unfairly in the home. But times have changed since then, and most women now will simply not tolerate being treated like a slave by the in-laws. The generation of the mother-in-law telling the daughter exactly what to do and just belittling her and all of this is just not the case anymore from real examples around me. And if that is the case, most women will just be like, I'm out, I'm getting a divorce. So the men in their 20s now feel frustrated and angry when they haven't done anything wrong, but they keep getting blamed for the patriarchy. And
yeah, I mean, these women are delusional. They're just in their feelings, man. They want to be like men, man. That's why they blame you for everything. It's the saying, and I'm gonna find that special clip for "It's all Jermaine's fault." I believe it is Jermaine's fault for this one. It's all Jin Jinping's fault.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Let's continue.
all the unjust things that women have to go through. The older generations, yes, definitely. But for the young ones, it's just like, what did we do? We haven't done anything. For them, they see it as an even playing field.
You did this. You're existing. All the young men, they're getting blamed because they're here. They're men. They're born with phallus that every woman want to put their. All right, furious. Let me stop. If I get too carried away here.
And some even view, because they have to go to do military service for 2 years, they view themselves in the disadvantaged position. And lastly, like I mentioned before, When feminism entered Korea, it was never peaceful or reasonable. From the beginning, it was just the hate-filled, misandrous kind of feminism. Innocent 20-something-year-old men suddenly being told, you're all rapists and killers and abusers. And understandably, they got very angry and frustrated at this. Being generalized and lumped in with the criminals with the mental issues who commit the crimes when they haven't done anything wrong. This is unfair. Since the Me Too movement as well, men are just kind of staying away from women in general, even talking to them with the fear of getting seen as inappropriate and getting reported on. Sometimes for
Yeah, man, that's too much powerful for a bitch, man. Let's sit there. You just eyeball this. Say, I'm gonna report you because you gave me a look. Man, I wish it would, man. Man, let me stop. Mm. 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 The insanity is real. I think a good portion of women that got westernized or have this Western mentality, yeah, you need help, baby. You need some serious help. I'm not sure even therapy could save you. Hell, I don't know. Even Jesus Christ could save you. God damn it. Shit. Yeah, I don't think Christ can save you. No, ain't nobody gonna save these chicks. I don't see it happening. I don't see it. All right, let's keep going.
falsely accused as well, which is another problem. So there was a Korean American TikToker, I think her name is Hajin, who reacted to my video and she wanted me to address something. So I'll do that now. First, she said in her video, I will link it down below if you want to watch it. She said she's a victim of sexual abuse within her family, which I am so sorry to her that that happened. And I really have empathy for her for that. She doesn't live in Korea and she uses K-dramas as an example of gender roles in Korean society. And she says that women don't get parental leave, which is wrong. The current paid parental leave is 1 year and 6 months, which is an increase from the previous 1 year. There's also a reduced work hours system now. So 2 working parents can work for 15 to 30 hours per week compared to the mandatory 40 hours. And also paternity leave for the father is being increased from 10 days to 20 days following the birth of the child. And there are also many number of cash subsidies paid towards the parents for a number of years from the child's birth. The Korean government are seriously freaking out about the birth rate, so they're throwing literally all of the money at this problem. And hopefully some of the measures they're taking will help the problem somewhat, but we'll have to see about that. I agree with her that the Korean justice system is fucked and criminals don't get sentenced enough. She also says she gets cringed out by the gender roles that she sees in Korean dramas. Like men have to be like this and women have to be like this, which I agree. But is this a Korea problem or a worldwide problem? Because we have that kind of everywhere. And I agree that some gender expectations can be harmful. Like you're a man should never cry, you should never show your tears, or saying to a girl like you should always be submissive and obedient and never talk back. But we do have to accept that some gender roles and expectations are going to be there forever. For example, I can't imagine a world where finance bros are going into work wearing pretty sundresses. That's
It's here now. I think there was some videos of some dudes, I think here in America especially, you see some dudes that they were promoting wearing heels and some skirt, I think last time I checked. I mean, I do predict that there's gonna be a trend of fashion to the point where you're gonna see men now that they're not weirdos gonna come to work with a dress officially. And most work fields can't do nothing about it because if they do anything about it, they're gonna be hit with a lawsuit of discrimination. I see that in the near future. I do see that. I definitely see that. Anyhow, let's keep going. But yeah, it's there, and if it's not there, it's eventually coming along as we speak. Fair use.
just not going to happen. They're going to wear a shirt and trousers, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. We can't get rid of all gender norms because then we'll be walking around in a genderless utopia where everyone is one and the same and we wear the exact same things and nobody is any different from each other. Just
Oh, we have it now here in America. What do you call some bathrooms don't have a gender. I don't know if you guys know what's going on. Y'all probably been clear with how they push certain agendas appeal at the alternate community. We have that already. Actually, they're trying to create what they call a unisex society. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, I think that's what they're creating now. Yeah, they're creating that. And these are the wave of the future where people say I could be a dog animal, including same sex. It's already here already. So whatever you're talking about is already done here in the West. But you had to come here to know it. Anyway, let's keep going. Very serious.
Fantasy and not going to happen. And personally, for me, I want to be the one wearing a wedding dress on my wedding day, not my husband. She points out that Korea has a hierarchical society and that leads to the abuse of power over women. And yes, I agree this happens, but also is this a thing that's unique to Korea? Because this also happens everywhere. Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein comes to mind. She said this abuse of power is ingrained in every fabric of Korean society, which is a very bold claim to make. And I would need to see statistics to back up this claim, because that's saying that every single CEO or every man in position in power is abusing women, which if you're going to make that claim, you need to bring out the statistics. For me, when I watch the news and I see examples of abusers, rapists, and murderers, I don't automatically assume that all other Korean men are going to do the exact same thing. Are most criminals men? Yes, that's statistically true. Men have more testosterone and women have more estrogen, which makes us have more empathy and nurturing in nature, whereas men can be more aggressive and have more risk-taking tendencies. But if you actually look at all criminals' backgrounds, they have almost always come from a broken family, really troubled backgrounds. More often than not, they've experienced abuse as a child themselves, or they have mental issues such as schizophrenia, which causes them to harm others. This
So those are the cause of the potential criminals out here, not only in Korea, but we could say it also falls suit here in America as well. So you fall in many of those categories, which she has said, your child, son, or potential daughter could fall at risk of that. And we have a lot of single mothers here in America, so that would probably add the problem. Let that sink in. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
was the case in 2016 when a man killed a woman with a knife in a bathroom at Gangnam Station. And this incident really set fire to the gender wars. And women were saying that this was a pure act of misogyny, and that might have certainly been the case, but it's also true that he had been hospitalized 4 times prior for his schizophrenia, and he was known to have violent outbursts. So clearly he was not right. And that might have certainly been the case, but it's also true that he had been hospitalized 4 times prior for his schizophrenia, and he was known to. And this incident really set fire to the gender wars. And women were saying that this was a pure act of misogyny, and that might have certainly been the case, but it's also true that he had been hospitalized 4 times prior for his schizophrenia. Saying that this was a pure act of misogyny, and that might have certainly been the case, but it's also true that he had been hospitalized 4 times prior for his schizophrenia, and he was known to have violent.
Schizophrenia. So he had mental problems that made him go out in the world, take a butcher knife and align that woman. See that? See that? Oh, make sure you guys hit the like button. Likes are free. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I would surely appreciate it. Subscription will not kill you. So if you're watching from the cloud, subscribe to the channel and interact with the chat room. Look forward to hearing from y'all on y'all thoughts. Super chat enable, and please support the channel with a Cash App or Super Chat. Let's keep going.
Outburst. So clearly he was not right in the head. But I do see a tendency from some people on TikTok saying that all Korean men are like this, which I don't agree with. And all I wanted to do in my first TikTok video, that 4B is not the dominant lifestyle among women living here right now. Most people want to find love and want to get married. It's literally in our human nature and ingrained into our DNA to live in packs and tribes. And there is a reason why our bodies release chemicals such as dopamine and oxytocin, which are feel-good chemicals when we have sex, is to encourage and motivate people into having sex and reproducing. We are social animals and we are wired for interaction, and humans can definitely live independently, but I don't think anyone is actually suited to live in complete isolation. And like I said, I really empathize and I feel very sorry for people who have been victims of abuse, domestic, sexual, all of it. I really respect people living their lives how they want to, but also I don't understand those people hating on women for choosing not to live like that. You should see the comments that I've been getting under my TikTok for saying, I want to find a man, I want to have a relationship and all of this. I'm going to read you some of the best comments. Maybe if you assume all men are safe, you'll end up raped and dead, but you do you, babe. Don't come crying when it happens to you. Hope you.
And now she's reading the comments of a lot of women that don't agree at all. And they are writing nasty comments. And probably some men probably wrote some comments, but we all know when you hear some weirdo comments of their opposing stance of what you take, it is very much frightening. Like literally. And trust me, women are very notorious with their mouth, guys. They'll let you know what the hell they think. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Let's look at this.
Get picked up and all of this. I'm going to read you some of the best comments. Maybe if you assume all men are safe, you'll end up raped and dead, but you do you, babe. Don't come crying when it happens to you. Hope you get picked soon. Lumping misogyny with Miss Andrie tells me everything I need to know, little Miss Pick Me. Actual male-centered bitch. You look like you need attention from Korea's misogynistic, weird and lonely men. You can have them, auntie. Nobody wants them, Ovi. And the...
This is nasty. Oh God. Oh, I don't like this, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it makes me want. I don't know about y'all guys. If y'all want to age woman, I mean, good luck to that. Be careful which woman you're dealing with, gentlemen. That's Asian, or a tribe of Asian women, because that's not normal, man. That right there is not normal at all. You up here praying somebody will get touch? Really? Like really? Because she don't think. See, that's why I'm gonna say this. And it's gonna be offensive if people get far to this tape. This is why I don't promote a person being a yes person. You must be opposing and be firmly opposing, regardless if it makes sense or not. Because I find when people are opposing people's views, like literally, you find people putting nasty comments and being very much in their ways, emotionally, and in general, where they'll come out their way and put some nasty words about you. And really, truly, man, let me stop because I want to say that for that. Yeah. All right. Let me go. Who's wrote? Let me see who wrote in the chat room. There's always women wishing harm on other women. Yeah, it's disgusting. Remember, it was women wishing harm on. Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. So those that's in the chat room that subscribe to the channel, should I really look into this thing with Simone Biles going at war with these single, lonely, crazy chicks? Because she's going at war with these women, which I find it ironic that Simone should not do that. Because let's be honest, sweetie, you won. You won. Regardless of the outcomes of how you want to stay in this marriage with your husband, that's solely up to you. But it lets you know that a lot of women are miserable and they will keep you single. Matter of fact, wait. I do have it. They will keep you single. Literally.
My, you saying you can't control your vision? Vision.
And matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. I think I have it. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I have it. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I'm not gonna look for it. Screw it. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
A huge irony is that this person has Jimin from BTS as their profile picture. I also liked this comment that said, 4B movement is also used by foreigners to demonize Korean men. I liked it because I think it's true. They view incidents like Burning Sun, Nth Room, and all of that, and assume that all Korean men are like this. I get comments like, isn't domestic violence really high over there? Women are getting killed at alarming rates. They don't provide any links to statistics to back up this claim. And they do demonize Korean men. Well, I live here and I speak to Korean men on a daily basis. And I'm telling you all that they're not all like that. They also view these kind of incidents as abhorrent and disgusting. But those TikTok people just don't believe anything that I say. But they call me a pick-me and say that I'm bootlicking the boots of Korean men. So it's like talking to a brick wall. Also, people saying misandry and harmful stereotypes are not real. I got this in my YouTube comment the other day. This was from my live the other day with David.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, the lady's doing too much, man. All because they don't agree with another woman in their, group. Ladies, if you have not known or learned, know this. You want to know who your true friends are or who really rock with you regardless of your stance? See how well they'll talk either good about you or bad behind your back. Just pay attention to their actions. Their actions are going to show more if they mean you well or mean you harm. Now, obviously, she's not friends with these people in the comment section, but the comment section is where the real harm comes to play. A lot of women get in the comment section and really say what they think and feel, and they're being very nasty and notorious. To the point it's going to hurt your feelings. Matter of fact, these are one of the reasons why a lot of women that's in healthy relationships, they get mental issues because they got to deal with the bullish in the digital circuit. I recommend most women, if you're going to use the internet, right, if you're bored or you're trying to interact, be with social media, be responsible and be cautious. Because if you put up there that someone doesn't like, they're going to use against it and put and say things to you that's going to be very nasty, where you think you want to go find them in real life, meet them and square up. But yeah, that's my take on it. Let's keep going. Fairies.
About Hi versus Minijin. This user left a whole essay and said, I wish BTS would move out of Korea after their service because Koreans don't deserve them. Koreans are so ungrateful. No wonder 80% of their men have small dicks. I was lucky, and I do feel privileged for this. I was very lucky to grow up with a best father that I could have ever asked for. Most gentle, caring, sacrificed so much for me and my brother. And he showed me the best example of what it is to be a responsible, kind man. And also, I've seen nothing but examples of happy marriages within my family where the men are really hardworking providers and they're very supportive. And so that's the kind of stuff that I grew up seeing. And so I don't hate men for just existing. I do realize not everyone had that experience growing up, and it's like I said, I very much sympathize. But yeah, I just don't believe that all men are inherently evil. I don't agree with that. Even though some TikTok comments told me that I shouldn't trust my dad and my brother because they are also potential rapists. Like, what? I just have to laugh. I feel like I should address.
Now you see, this is where it becomes very dangerous. It gets to a point, and listen to me, good gentlemen, and ladies, if you listen, please listen too. You deal with anybody and they say that your own family members, your brothers and fathers, are going to sit there, take your box. That tells me all about the person. That tells me you've been touched when you're young and sorry that happened to you. But it's your responsibility to start fix it. And how you fix it, you do the simple work. One, you have to go to, and I'm going to push therapy because this is necessary for the taste stream. You need psychological help. You go through the process of knowing what's wrong, why you think and operate the way you do, and what is inhibiting you. Next, you go and do the spiritual work, which that will compose of going to nature, breathing fresh air. You could use so-called them low-level things that don't really work, but you could do, you know what I'm talking about, right? The spiritual type stuff. And last, you sit there and you be alone for roughly no greater than a year. And the reason I'm saying, and when I mean this, that means don't touch your box. These are suggestions you should do if you are in a place in life where you think and feel that way, or tell someone else because you experienced that. And trust me, you did experience that. Because no one, hell, no woman's going to sit there and write that bullshit to another woman unless you experience that firsthand. I tell you, a lot of people, it's like this. I'm glad the comment section is designed where you can restrict certain comments. I think most we need to start exercise restricting more harsher words in the comment section. No one should be saying what the hell they want in any comment section on any platform, personally, in my opinion. And the reason why I say it's because, to me, it's showing the more deep embedded problematics you're going through and the more demons that you're battling with yourself. And I don't need that bullshit on my comment section. I'm glad I don't got those type of issues in my comment section at this time yet. But as with your help in growing this channel and more content, if I do something like this or mix up content, I might experience these same stupid comments that has nothing of any substance. Most of the time I'll ignore it. But if you say something outlandish like that, don't be that comment's gonna stay there long in my chat room or in my comment section of my videos. Keep that in mind. Let's continue. Yeah, she really did say that, Tevin. She really did say that. Fair use.
Address the gender pay gap thing as well. This is contributed to so many factors. So how they calculate this pay gap is they look at the difference between the average earnings of all men and women. They don't take into account different factors in occupation. A lot more men end up going into STEM fields compared to women. Women on the whole end up choosing less well-paid jobs compared to men. It also doesn't take into account different education levels, nor the number.
And not only they do that, they do it here in America as well. And I'll go even further. They push some of these trades and things to women to go into, and they still refuse because women don't want to do that long, hard ass shit type of work. They want jobs that's convenient, that pays a lot for less, and there's nothing for anything less you're going to get. You're going, if you want what is rightfully yours, you're going to have to not only get degrees, but put in the same amount of work just like the men. And we already found out most women are refusing to do so. Let that sink in. Fair use.
Of hours worked per week. Men around the world, on the whole, tend to work longer hours than women. According to the 2022 Seoul Metropolitan Government's gender wage gap explanation data, 75% of employees who work night and holiday shifts at the Seoul Transportation Corporation are men. In addition, male employees were mainly in charge of night shifts at the Seoul Facilities Management Corporation and the Seoul Industrial Promotion Agency. Men were paid higher than women working in the same position by working overtime. But also, the most hardest and dangerous jobs are done by majority men. Construction, working on oil rigs, bricklaying, working on power lines, roofers, firefighters. Most of these jobs are dangerous and many can get injured or killed on the job. Women don't choose these sorts of jobs. And also, there's always that conversation about there aren't enough females in high CEO positions or in government, which is very true and valid. But also on the reverse, there is hardly any, if any, female representation in those hard labor jobs as well. Oh, and to also address the comment that I made in my TikTok video about me getting aged out of the marriage market, people were saying I have internalized misogyny because I said that. Like, all I meant by that was women have a fertility window, and this is just pure bio.
Yeah, there is a fertility window, and usually you exercise your option to knock out the way before you hit a certain age. Anyway, roughly, 32 to 35 is the max. You don't want to wait that long. I mean, I know most people here in America are getting married later and having kids a little later. Some people say that they find some women giving birth first time at 40. I look at you as you crazy as hell. It should not be at age 40, and after 40, you start having your first child as a woman. And I'm gonna look at that as weird. Let's keep it real. All right, let's keep going.
If you want to have kids, you have a certain deadline. Once you start to reaching your mid-30s, it becomes much, much harder for you to be able to conceive. That's all I meant. And it does not mean I have internalized self-hatred or internalized hatred of women. I know that not everyone in those TikTok comments were like feminazis and about hating men, but I'm addressing the many of you that were. I think just blindly arguing that men are just so privileged and they don't have any issues or problems of their own. I think this is just not true. Both sexes have our own struggles and our own issues. So just screaming and arguing and placing blame on the vast majority of normal people who are not criminals or rapists or murderers, this really isn't helpful, and it only makes the gender wars worse. Genuinely, in my circle of friends, I don't see any incels, and I only see happy, positive, hardworking people who want to find love in relationships, and people wanting to have companions and reproduce should not be seen as a bad thing. Wouldn't you rather have a society that's filled with love and support for one another rather than hate and resentment and segregation?
Well, the society which people want to envision, the ones that really structure society, they would want the society as we speak and as the sound of my voice, they want society that's in erupt chaos, real chaos, where people are doing what you say they're doing, you know, being misogynistic, misandrous, fighting, aligning, deleting, and all forms of craziness. That's what they envision the world to be, and move forward. That's how they want the world to move. They don't want no prosperous society that's, you know, balanced. They need that type of society, as I'm saying before, because it keeps people in the position them, you know, under the class, and the ones on top into the topper class, where they have to lift a finger but let the people down in the lower class destroy themselves. That's the world they want to see things in. And you know I'm telling the honest truth. All right. How much more? All right, I'm gonna let this video wrap up and I'm gonna move forward. Let's wrap this portion of the video up. Fair use, fair use.
Believe that women are like yin and yang. We are definitely not the same. We are different from one another, but living in harmony with one another and trying to make it work, I think is one of the most beautiful things. And I think we should be trying to preserve this instead of actively trying to destroy it. I'm going to leave links down below about the world crime rate, about Korea's crime rate, as well as some articles I thought was interesting about.
All right, that's it. Hope you guys got some out of this part of the session. Let me see. Try and shift gears here. I'm just looking at something right now. So, in conclusion to this segment of this stream, that the 4B movement is a big scam. And not only is it a scam, but it's clear that westernized women are indeed the top propagandists to push an agenda to not only what they consider decenter men, but they want to decenter all men in all parts of the world. And how they do that, they start spreading what goes on outside of America, which actually worked here in America because a lot of people ran with it. They think and believe that the 4B movement, as it states, is a real movement. But come to find out, most people today, including women, yes, sweetie, you, are very lazy and don't do no research at all. You find someone that create the propaganda that you, in your mind, push and said that this is the norm, and you want every man to follow suit. Like literally, follow suit. Screw if it was real or not. The whole premise is it was all a creation. It's not real. And I want people to really think long and hard on that. That if they create something out of nothing, what else are they doing? It's the biggest question. All right. Okay, so let's shift gears here. And I see I got plenty of people watching. Let me see how I'm doing likes. All right, good. We're doing likes. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm trying to wrap up this portion of Miss Chen and Mr. Walter Fresh CEO. And we're going to listen in of, you know, because she is Chinese and she got herself knocked up and, you know, eventually got rid of the baby. Well, we're going to hear more of really the pushback she got. to what she's trying to do now. So as I'm going through run this video, as a matter of fact, let me run one more nice little segment commercial for y'all.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right. So please, guys, support channel, super chat, Cash App, rolling down here, as you can tell. You know, for the channel, good support for the channel. You know, for other things, every donation, you know, goes back to the Chaos Reign show. I really appreciate it. All right, let's go on with this last one. Enjoy.
It seems like you're putting all of the accountability on him. I think that's what we were trying to say.
Well, I didn't. Well, definitely not. That's not what I meant.
Let's get back to the video, though. So,
and as you know, this is a previous stream that I cover in regards to Asian women wanting the seed of the black man. I'm wrapping up this segment of it, so we're gonna listen into it and, you know, get more context of it. You know. All right, let's go.
So you did have this video called "We Are the Victims." Nick, if you can just pull it up real quick, We Are the Victims. There it is. That's a nice penthouse apartment, by the way. Is that
Airbnb?
Airbnb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you guys, it's a fairly long one. I actually watched it, and I have a couple notes here with timestamps. If needed, I'll pull up the actual point of time corresponding to some of my questions I had. So starting with Daisy, you said that 13 minutes in, when it comes to abortion and pregnancy, you consider it as you actually have a life in your belly. Okay. At 18:30 in that video, you said one of the reasons you got the abortion, or perhaps women can get abortions, is you feel it carrying a baby, you feel pain, bleeding.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you said that perhaps one of the reasons women will get abortions is for health issues. Like they might get it for health issues. Was that one of the reasons that you decided, or that wasn't related?
Decide what? Not to keep the baby?
Yeah, you said some women might choose to get an abortion because they face potential health issues if they continued with the pregnancy.
I was very depressed. That was not the only reason. It's just everything put together.
Okay. But you didn't have any health issues, though?
I was mentally.
Okay.
I mentally caused physically.
All right.
So.
Now, at 29:30...
Yeah, she's lying. She's not. If that's the only issue you have, I had to call Cap a little bit, because the last thing you want to do is you want to sit there and just get rid of the child for whatever reason, you know, because you allow this man to go in there and ski. You know he's not wearing no Jimmy, so he's gonna be ski, and you allow the ski in you, and was praying for the child. Even to the point you up there having phone conversations and putting it out in it. You know, it makes me wonder if this dude's gonna start paying child support, since he already had other women that he's been doing this, 4 other women that he's been screwing raw, and they said they're pregnant. Boy, you know how. Let me say something to men. There's a few things that's going to get us broke in America. One, if we're very, very much, I would say, not making use of the money you have, or make enough money to the point where you could probably have some later on. And the other major big thing is what we call child support. As you know, certain states you have your child in, they will take a percentage out of what you make. I think the top states that take the most is California, and I think New York, I believe. Yeah. Or Georgia. The only state that there's a cap on how much women can get in child support is in Texas, which is a good thing. I think all states need to start capping child support, because when you start doing that, most women are not going to have these kids freely, because they look at these children as checks, nothing more, nothing less. And they're not really giving self-development for the child. Even go as far as if the man want to be involved, they fight him for that. So there should be a cap on how much women should get in child support if they're not gonna start regulate or know what they're spending the money. Just keeping it real. All right, let's go.
Hey, could you actually skip to 2930? And we'll actually play from 2930. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's just fucked up.
Let me know when you have it, okay? Shit, hold on. One of my chats. Let me actually read this chat really quick. Throwing a wrench into the mix. Happy Mother's Day. Have your parents told you about how they met? If so, how? Which parent was more of a... I'll have to come back to this. Oh, wait, did it not trigger? Wait. Oh, shit. Fuck. That's weird. I don't know why it's not triggering. One sec.
Well, didn't you turn it off for a second?
Oh, I did pause it. Okay. All the TTSs are shit. They're just a reminder, guys. TTSs and chats, we're just going to pause it just to kind of get through some of this stuff, and then I'll open it back up in a little bit. Okay, so Nick, have it? Go ahead.
Like, we're here to take you down.
You can pause it. What do you...
Now you see this foolishness here. Say we're here to take you down. How are you gonna take someone down? You could have got child support, sweetie. That was the best revenge, but you decided not to. I hope you didn't ask her for $1 million, because I don't think even the guy from CEO, Fresh CEO, got that money. He got money, but not like that. Hell, you're not Cassie, bitch. Well, actually, Cassie is part Asian, from what I'm hearing. I gotta double check it. Let me check her ethnicity. 1 second. Make sure you guys hit the like stream, hit the like button, and share the stream and support the channel on Super Chat or Cash App. Let me look up Cassie. All right, let me see what her background is. Oh, she born in New London, Connecticut. Really interesting. I thought she was born in New York or Boston. Well, she is from the East Coast, so it makes sense. Born in London, Connecticut. That's like 30-minute drive, something from New York. All right. All right, so let me see if I can find let me find hold on, guys. I'm trying to find ethnicity. All right, here we go. Okay. Says here Cassandra Elizabeth Ventura. I thought she had changed her name because she's married now. She is a Virgo, born 1986, New London, Connecticut. Her mother is an African American Mexican and West Indian descent, and her father is Filipino. Her father is Asian. Her mother is a mixed Caribbean woman. So her mother probably either from Trinidad or Barbadian or Jamaican. Most likely she gonna fall either Barbadian or Trinidad, and her father's Filipino. So we're looking at a mixed hybrid. Cassidy. Oh, for a reminder, if you guys are using all caps, the bot will start deleting your comment. Be mindful of the all caps. Write in proper as possible. I know that's hard because we got customs so people see art. No, don't do that. Write clear as possible without all caps if you can. Let me keep reading. Yeah, so if her mother's Caribbean, she most likely either Trinidad, Barbados, or Jamaican, and her father's Filipino. So it makes sense. Now I'm not sure there's any picture of her parents. Let me see those pictures. I doubt it. I doubt it at all. All right, let me play the tape because I was looking at Cassidy. All right, let's keep going. Ferries.
I mean by you're here to take him down.
Oh, I see you write some. Daisy and the bunny is going to get hit with that lawsuit for defamation. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you think about Tevin, they already was good, and I think they should have filed suit because she did leak the audio recording of their conversation, which is illegal in Florida. I'm not sure if he's still pursuing that. He should pursue it. I'm hoping these guys not being lenient because she now doesn't want to go forward with a pregnancy. I don't care what it is. You need to still punish some of these ladies that sit there would do things like that will hurt your character as a person. Which really, his character's already damaged already. Both of them dudes, because you look at these guys. I'm sorry, they're not really good women. They got money and that's it. But in regards to really being good women, that's not it. All right. And please, guys, support the channel. Fair use.
Like, is that your goal? You want to take Walter down?
Yes,
Why?
because you hurt me.
Okay, maybe that, like, let's just say that.
She said she's taking that because you hurt her. Gentlemen, be very, very, very careful when a woman is hurt. She will destroy you. This is a dangerous bitch right here. Dangerous. And Walter doesn't know that you're American. You're a black man in America, bro. They're going to look at this woman as partial of the white family. And she wants to destroy you. She has the means. She has the actual look. And she has the backing of the system to destroy you, regardless if you have money or not. Be very careful, gentlemen. I'm just saying. All right, let's go.
Yeah, take your word for it, and that he did hurt you. I don't doubt you there. Do you think it's like, do you see yourself just moving on from this?
What do you mean?
Like, y'all could just drop it, just move on with your lives.
I did. That's why I chose in the end to take the bill.
No, I don't mean that. I mean just like this ongoing conflict with them.
Should I move on, you mean?
No, I mean, have you considered that?
Yes, I am moving on with my life, and
but you said you're pursuing a lawsuit against him.
Yes, he still need to get what he deserves.
It's that voodoo vision. She has vision.
I have vision.
And vision.
I have vision.
Vision. She visions to sue the hell out of Walter, fresh CEO. This is a dangerous chick. Kevin, where are you?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Yes, get him, Daisy. Yes, get him. It's like, let's listen. You know the phrase, you know the tune I'm about to play right now, guys. You know the saying goes, she wants to do this. She wants Mr. Charlie to do this on Walter.
Get him, Dad. What you say? Get him, Dad. Get him, Dad.
She said, get him, Daddy. She's calling Mr. Charlie and asking Charlie, like, you know what? She's asking Charlie for this.
Get him, Dad. Get him, Dad. What you say? Get him, Dad. Get him, Dad.
Say, come get him, Daddy. Fair use, fair use.
And to be clear, you're doing a defamation lawsuit,
yeah.
And then also it's a coercion. It's intentional. I believe it's, well, I don't know what you're specifically going for, but intentional infliction of emotional distress, something like that.
Yeah, and he could have bring me a serious STD.
But he didn't. So what's the?
No, absolutely not. Y'all guys gotta go back to the videotapes when she said that she knew this man was messing around with other women. How he's gonna bring you STD, and he already admits and tell you straight in your face, and you and him had agreement that it's okay as long as you don't bring me nothing. You didn't get nothing, and they're talking about you could potentially get STD, but you stay and still moved on with the relationship, or I should call it situationship. Because it's not a great relationship. Let's be honest. Because he's flying you and paying for little trinkets to you, that's not considered a relationship. He does spending money because he's a trick. I'm sorry. That's a trick mindset. That's a trick mindset. Anyhow, let's keep going. I can ram all on.
What are your damages?
Yeah, damages.
I don't think you can sue somebody for what they could have potentially done to you.
Yeah.
So did he? He didn't give you an STD.
He did.
Oh.
Oh, I'm fine right now. He gave me ultra infection.
Oh, what?
What? A UTI.
UTI.
Oh, well, you can hold on, but
But you can get
you can get a,
holding in your pee too long.
I don't think a UTI isn't necessarily sexual.
Okay, fine then.
But so you intend to
let's
sue
say
him? You intend to sue him for a
I am
UTI?
No, not just this.
Okay. Well, no, I know there's other things, but
Yeah.
I'm asking why you are planning to sue him. But
Why shouldn't I? Like they are defaming me and putting slander on me.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
All right, I'm gonna read you a comment, Gray Pill. You right. She said she was aware of Fresh out with other women and was okay. I was aware. I was there listening with that. Fresh effed up by stepping outside their arrangement. That's what it said. But see, she didn't get no serious disease. If you go back and listen to what I just played, that's not really a serious disease. A disease, when we talk about disease, and let me be clear about disease. When we talk about disease or dis-ease, we're talking about things like hepatitis, herpes, gonorrhea, even including HIV that will lead to AIDS. Those are considered dis-ease or forms of STDs. All this other extra stuff is not dis-ease. That's what she's saying. And really, when he grilled her on it, she had to sit there really fall back. And Tevin writes, fresh from Fresh Fit, the moment she alleged deleted the baby, all hopes of her claiming child support or financial support went out. Yeah, it went out the window. And I'm not really a proponent of a woman like her or any woman become a single mother because they make themselves single mother at the end of the day. Y'all know the story. Y'all, matter of fact, do I got the video? Yeah, if you remember this, right? Oh, let me do this. Oh, damn. All right. If y'all remember this, hold on. It's like the notion like this. Here we go. Hold on. All right, it's like this, guys.
Showing a baby off, showing a baby off.
That's not it.
Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom. Now you a single.
She a single mom now. She could have been a single mom, but she decided to forego the single mom route, which is a good thing. I don't condone she did what she did, but you know, it is what it is. Fair use, fair use.
Why shouldn't I? Like everybody's calling me.
Who's they? Like them? Like...
His partner, Myron. So,
what's the main thing that they're accusing you of that you find defamatory?
They call me an professional escort.
An escort, okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have have no history of escorting?
No.
Okay. Because they did release a video which
I already.
That's not you though,
yeah,
correct? Okay.
I adjust that already,
sure.
which is also why I'm working with my lawyer.
Are you sure about that?
They ruined my reputation, and I lost a lot.
You have damages?
Yes.
Okay.
And they also call me a thief, which I am not. I've never steal from anybody.
You're filing this lawsuit in New York, is that correct?
I think so, yeah. because my lawyers are.
You said I think. No, this bitch did not say I think so. My God, are you serious? First lives in Miami, Florida. You live in New York. How the hell are you suing someone that you're not even part of the state? Kevin, where are you, man? God help us all, man. God help us all.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Fair use, fair use.
New York.
Did you do any venue shopping? Because New York actually has fairly strong. It's a good state, is my understanding, to be a plaintiff in a defamation case. When it comes to being, like, if you're in New York, I think.
What do you mean? You're saying that's difficult to do it?
No, I'm saying that's probably one of the best states if you're a plaintiff in a defamation case.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious why you didn't, given that he lives in Florida, you were in Florida when.
I don't know any lawyer in Florida.
It just seems like venue shopping a little bit. Like you chose the best state to file a defamation lawsuit.
I was in New York when I deal with.
Or you haven't filed it yet, correct?
Not yet.
But
I'll still give it a shot. Yeah.
But 100% you are intending.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll try to get through all this. So because I know Andrew's got a bunch of questions, so I'll try to get through this as quick as I can. Okay. You said at 38 minutes that you.
Hold on, guys.
Hid your,
Wait, y'all know
time
what time
that you
it is.
had.
My money. I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
Y'all guys know the deal. Support the channel. Hit the super chat or cash app. $ Chaos 8 Rain. Support the channel. Support all any other endeavors and interests. And please become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. I might put the links to the membership. I might do it now as I'm going. Please support the channel, guys. Let's continue. Fair use. Fair use.
Abortion. So there was a period of time while there was this like kind of, it was going viral on the internet.
Yeah, I didn't hide it.
No, but you said you said you hid your abortion.
There's difference between secret and lie. I did not lie. I just didn't tell anybody. I got it down. I didn't tell anybody on public until when I was drinking a glass of wine in Miami, and they called me out. They were like, "You're pregnant." I still didn't want to explain.
Right, didn't you make a post where you were like, oh, it's okay to drink a little bit even if you're pregnant?
Yeah,
but at that time you weren't even pregnant at all.
I was just trying to educate these people, like it's okay to have one glass of wine.
Well, you at that point you were
one
still,
glass.
but at that point were you still intending to carry on as if you, at least publicly, that you were still pregnant?
I was gonna tell them anyway.
Okay.
So I scheduled the podcast with, the show with Duke the Down. So I was gonna tell them like later on, but I just wanted my vacation, like a little vacation.
Okay. Nick, could you go to 5425? Let me know when you have it in the video. And just a reminder, guys, we are taking a pause on all the chats and the TTSs just while we get through this segment. Go ahead, Nick.
Like until I take you guys down, like I'm not gonna shut up.
Okay.
Like Tree told me to shut up.
You can pause. I'm just like, so what? I think I might have already asked this, but what prompted you to decide to like leak all this, go public?
That's my revenge. To be honest, he hurt me. I want to hurt him. That's all.
I'm just curious though, like, because I mean.
Wait, did you say revenge?
Yes.
That you did this out of revenge?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. They didn't like that, the fact I leaked the message. Nobody agreed with this, but I still do it. I'm not regretting it. It's because when somebody tried to hurt me, and actually they did, and they don't think about the consequence after. And am I letting them just like to like move on like that? Like they're never gonna learn a lesson if they don't. If I didn't do anything actually like that's gonna damage them. So you can go ahead and judge me for being, whatever.
I'm not
you're
judging you. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm
that-
saying the public.
Yeah.
Like I really
Yeah, I
didn't
understand.
mind. Like they can.
But the motivation,
They can hate
you
me.
think that the primary motivation that you had was vengeance. You wanted to kind of hit back.
First, revenge, because he hurt me, so I want to hurt him. Second, because I wanted to warn other women as well, because there is a lot of message that I've been getting that.
When you say he hurt you, what precisely did he do? He broke up with you?
No, he made me pregnant, and he didn't want to take the accountability.
No, he hurt you. Well, you actually hurt yourself, sweetie. And what I mean by hurt yourself is that you intentionally allow yourself to get knocked up by this so-called alleged little, what they call little dick, ugly-looking dwarf, you like to call. But he was that ugly and little, you would not put yourself in a position to be carrying someone that you find deemed unattractive, someone's child, and want him to hold responsibility. You got to pick a struggle at the end of the day. You're going to have to pick a struggle. You got to pick a struggle at the end of the day. And to sit there saying you want some whole see, it kills me a lot of times even want accountability. You know this dude, and a recap for those that did not catch the previous stream of this. In her mind, she said this man is irresponsible. Okay, so why are you procreating with someone that's irresponsible? You see, gentlemen, these women tell on themselves every day. That tells me you don't have no discernment. And yes, you did it because he has something. And he might have some little bag that you want. That's why you allowed and went all the way through with the so-called situation, even go as far as to sit to allow him to pregnant you. Tim writes, the lawyers are going to have a field day in court. Yeah, they're going to have that field day. Anyhow, let's keep going. Fair use.
But okay,
I don't.
Does him getting you pregnant, was that him hurting you?
Wait.
He get me pregnant and didn't want me to keep the baby. That's hurt. That hurts.
Was he like telling you he didn't want to have a baby?
You just
or,
heard
like...
the voice.
I did.
You heard exactly what he said. Go take a pill. He didn't even say, "Oh, come to Florida, come to Miami. I'm gonna go to the hospital with you." If we broke up already. We can't keep the kid. Like he can just say anything like that's nice. Like he's all of a sudden he switched from somebody that's nice, charming, to somebody that's like, I'm just a stranger. Like, deal with yourself. Like that's how I get it. That's how fuming I was.
Yeah, and he deserved to be punished for that, right?
Thanks for that. Yeah.
So I'm just.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did, right? He deserved to be punished. He deserved for you to punish him for doing that horrible thing to you, right?
Well, I didn't expect that from you, but thank you.
Okay, but he did, right? Didn't he?
He's asking you.
Yeah, didn't he? Didn't he deserve to? I mean, he deserved it, right?
He did.
Yeah. So I mean, he needed to be punished, didn't he?
Yes. Is he really punished? I don't know.
Yeah. And he still needs to be punished, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to like see him in jail or like?
Yes.
Whoa,
Okay.
come on. Jail?
Yes.
Straight to jail.
Yes.
Straight to jail.
Yes.
So you think
for for knocking you up?
For making me pregnant, for making other women pregnant, for giving other women STD while knowing he sleep with multiple women without protection.
Yeah, we're gonna stop. But bitch, man, what the Kevin, where are you?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Yeah, she's a savage, Shatter. She definitely is a savage. Listen, sweetie. A man can go far what you allow him. It's hard for me to say a man's gonna be accountable for a lot of things, but if the man has money and he's using his phallus and going in without no Jimmy in there, you're asking to one or two things: either get pregnant or you might get something. It's one way or the other. You can't pick a struggle. I mean, look, you gotta pick a struggle at the end of the day. Somebody want him in jail because he's pregnant other women also. I didn't know women were this stupid. Now I think about this. Man, listen, I didn't want to go into that gray pill. I mean, we can go into the realms of that, but anyway, let's keep going.
Okay, Maddie, go fix that, please. Oh, I think they might have it. Just double check. Sorry, guys, our fucking... Welcome to the Whatever Podcast.
Just trying to come down right now.
Production quality is fantastic. Wait, hold on. Don't... It's good? All right. Oh, that's what fell the Ziz thing. Okay, all right. So I am a little bit confused. So if you had so much conviction about keeping the child and being against abortion, the father being a perceived or actual scumbag who doesn't want involvement, and the ensuing drama, the public drama, it doesn't seem like enough pretext to go and get an abortion if it's against your religion, against your values. So I'm just a little confused there.
There's a lot of different reasons. One of the main reasons because I was like, during the pregnancy, what I had to fight with all of them, I was like very stressed. You know, I was worried about my health. Why would I stress?
No, I'm not questioning that you were stressed, but why were you stressed? Because of the
they were
drama.
putting the drama, the allegations on me, and especially he never like actually made any announcement. He was keeping his mouth shut while his partner was speaking for him. So I want you to just be a man up. Like even if you made a mistake, just say, Daisy, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. I take the apologize, even though it takes both to to get pregnancy. So like
two to tango.
Yeah, two. So like I would be okay. Like he just so stubborn. He wouldn't even apologize to me.
Wait, apologize for what?
For what?
Like,
well, he's a real son of a bitch, right? I mean, treating you like that. I mean, he kind of has it coming, right? Kind of has it coming.
Well, I didn't really know that because I just personally, I just wanted to feel who this guy is. Like, I didn't know he's like this scumbag until he broke up with me. I searched him on Google. A lot of things came out. I'm like, wait, this can't be true. So that's also why.
And when somebody treats you like that, I mean, they deserve to be punished by you, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So a couple more questions.
Yeah, man. You can't mess with some of these women. These women dangerous, man. Shatter. Until he broke up with the quote. Yeah. This woman getting dangerous, Shatter. I remember you told me stories about one chick you dealt with, man. I tell you, man, brother. I don't know, man. I was gonna continue. Fair use.
So you said that would you say that the primary reason for you getting the abortion was because you were stressed out by this whole thing?
That's the main reason.
That's the main reason.
There's another reason. As I told everybody, I was growing up in single family. My parents broke up when I was 10. Mm-hmm. And when I was in childhood, when I was in school, people always laughing about me, making fun about me without, like, I don't have a mother. You know, like, it's just, like, very tough for me. Like, my childhood, very tough. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want my kid to go through similar situation as me.
Okay. So, but you said the primary reason was because of the stress. Is that correct? The stress, that was the main reason from all the drama with Fresh and all that. That was the main reason you decided to get the abortion?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that you kind of brought some of this on yourself?
Yes.
Because truthfully, like looking at all this retrospectively, had you kept all this private, had you not leaked the phone call? Because I mean, they have grounds to have been upset with you for leaking a private phone call.
Yeah.
You could argue that that's a pretty big breach of trust, even though you guys had broken up. And I mean, look, maybe he wasn't moving in the best way when it comes to his relationship with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, leaking a private, well, it's not just leaking the phone call. I mean, you intentionally, there was like forethought. It was premeditated. You recorded the phone call with the intention of then releasing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, perhaps none of this stress would have been caused if you just tried to handle this privately. And you did take in this conflict, in this war that you're now finding yourself in, you did kind of take the first shot, at least from how it looks.
Maybe, yeah.
I think whether it was leaked or not, he was still going to tell her to abort it, and that's still going to cause stress.
Yes.
But she says, I mean, and
I was already very stressed when he told me he didn't want the kid. Like,
Sure.
In the beginning, like I gave him 4 days to think about it. Nothing happened. He
Sure.
never replied my message after all.
But I mean, just myself being involved with, being out.
But you forgot, she doesn't have what I like to call vision.
Vision. Vision. Have vision.
You feel me? Let's continue. Fair use.
They're publicly doing a podcast, and I mean, it can be very stressful getting, I don't know if you've got any death threats. I've had death threats. I've had nasty messages. And then you have people lying about you. You have people saying nasty things about you.
A lot.
I don't suspect any of that would have occurred if this had been kept private. And so it just seems like
That's because
I'm not saying
allegations
Fresh
on
was
me.
perfect, but it does seem in terms of making this whole thing public, they obviously responded to you. But you kind of, once you opened that door, you sort of opened Pandora's box and kind of, well, okay, you went public. He's going to obviously respond publicly.
Yeah, okay, fine. You make sense.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
At a minute,
I'm taking the consequence
yeah.
for my behavior.
And
Yeah.
in that video, an hour and 5 minutes in, you were speaking about Abba Atlas.
Yeah.
Me and him, we're actually related because we share the last name, apparently.
Abba?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not. I'm not really. We have the same last name, but we're not related. You were upset that he betrayed you by leaking DMs.
Yeah.
Isn't that precisely what you did to Walter?
Yeah. That's
You leaked
different.
a phone call?
That's different though, because
Well, how's it different?
Abba and I, we don't like. I didn't hurt him like or anything. Like
Didn't hurt who?
Abba, like, I didn't do anything bad to him. Like
Do you hear that? Let me wind that back. What this picture just said a while ago? All right, let me wind that back.
Apparently.
Abba?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not. I'm not really. We have the same last name, but we're not related. You were upset that he betrayed you by leaking DMs.
Yeah.
Isn't that precisely what you did to Walter?
Yeah. That's
You
different.
leaked a phone call?
That's different though, because
Well, how's it different?
Abba and I, we don't like. I didn't hurt him like or anything. Like
Didn't hurt who?
Abba. Like I didn't do anything bad to him. Like he didn't have to leak this message.
Oh my God, Kevin! God damn it! God help us all.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
reason why he did it because he probably want to show off, or he wants to like.
But my question, bitch, why are you in another man's DM? It's a question. Unless you're looking for what we like to call a lick. And it makes me think when Fresh and Myron expose you to be what they consider or what you said or what they said alleged to be call girl. This actually gives them validation that you could potentially be a call girl. because after you and Walter situation, and no less than a few weeks, you're up in another man's DM trying to shoot your shot. You can't make it up, guys. You can't make it up. Anyhow, or was Abba looking for a lick? I heard this isn't his first. You know, to be personally honest with you, Gray Pill, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care because she has no credibility at this point. For me to take her side, I gotta be delusional, brother. Personally, I have to be delusional to really think that I had to take her side. You understand me? All right, let's keep going.
Because he hates Fresh and Fit, so like that's gonna make him look good. Okay, your ex-girlfriend actually hate on me, stuff like that. And he actually he had like a huge, he almost hit 1 million reviews after he did an interview with me. Like he's the benefit. He get all the benefits after the interview. Like he didn't have to leak the private message. Like that was just like
that's what you that's.
But that's look for clout. He's doing that to show your character. And regardless if he got some views that's really on you, sweetie. Why are you on some other podcaster, YouTuber's DM? Why? It's the biggest question I should ask. All right, fair use. Let's keep going.
Precisely what you did to Walter, and you didn't. Well, you went beyond just leaking DMs. You also leaked. You premeditated, recorded a phone call, and leaked the phone call.
Yeah.
But
Abba didn't have to because I wasn't in a relationship with Abba.
Sure.
We were just cooperating. Like, why do you have to leak this
There's
message?
a different.
And he doesn't have to. Like, he's a big YouTuber. Like, that just shows him that I really had my respect for him. That's why I was very honest with him. By the way, he knew that I was getting an abortion. I told him early.
Oh, so he didn't.
So he acted like, oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know she was getting an abortion. He knows everything in the beginning. I treated him like a friend.
You felt betrayed though.
Yes.
By Abba.
And for no reason, he wanted.
Nah. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Sweetie, how we men think if it's something for clout and all stuff, the last you want to be put yourself out here is DM try and present yourself for the next or you want another man on the YouTube street to trick on you. And in the layman terms, we call you're trying to get on the carousel. Like literally. Fair use.
What he wants?
And
he
you feel
more
like,
reviews?
so you feel like you
and
didn't
when people betray you,
right?
That you should be able.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing right now. That it said he knew already. But you see, the problem is, regardless he knew or not, she put herself out here just to get some more attention, to spread her message, to spread what this man did to her, to keep the pressure on Walter to fold. But come here, her whole intention is to get revenge for Walter for what the pain she said alleged he put her through. And mind you, Grey Pill, she was on other panels trying to spread how evil, how bad a person is, but this woman sit there and bust wide open and let him go in and raw for a whole month. That to me is you are deliberately fully invested and wanted some out of the deal. Don't play with me. Fair use.
Able to go after them, don't you think? I think so. Don't you think you should be able to go after people hard who betray you?
Yeah.
And do horrible things to you? Don't you feel like that?
Yeah.
So think about how you feel about what Abba did to you.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that that's how Walter feels about what you did to him times 100?
What I do to him to cost
well,
him,
in terms of like,
it didn't cost him anything.
In terms
anyway.
of the leaking the private, because Abba, he leaked the private DMs between you and him.
Yeah.
You leaked these phone calls, text messages, etc. That's probably the way that you feel about that.
Yeah.
Is how Walter feels about what your leaks, but
Mhm.
probably way worse because I mean there was more leaks. It was much more impactful. But and also you said that you feel like you didn't do anything wrong to Abba, correct?
Yeah, I don't think I did anything wrong because that
Now,
was.
what if I told you that maybe Walter feels that way? That he feels he didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong by
Well,
making
I don't
me-
know, but maybe he feels that way.
But that's not true, right?
I don't know precisely what.
That's not true.
the truth
Everybody
is.
knows that's not true.
Well, you said it seems like your main quarrel is that he got you pregnant. It's not clear to me though if that is enough pretext to get revenge.
It's that it's okay. He can just be honest with me. Like he didn't have to play all this game to make me pregnant and dump him and didn't want the kid, you know. That's like something very serious for me. Like I really wanted the kid.
Okay.
But sweetie, man, I understand how women think. That's why I don't take a lot of women seriously, personally. I don't take y'all seriously because, and a side note for those that's listening to this for the first time, to give you some context, like real context, right? This woman says she does not want a marriage. Do y'all hear me? In early parts of this video, you had to go back to the previous live stream I did. I covered a good portion of this. She was not looking for marriage. Do you hear me, gentlemen? She wants to become a baby mama. Like literally, she wants to become a baby mama. And this is a Chinese woman from China. She definitely is fully westernized. Cause why the hell you come to America and your whole efforts you want to become baby mama? It would have been better invested if you wanted to get a ring out of this dude. He probably would give you that because you play your cards right. But even that, you don't want to do that. You want to have the baby and play house. To me, that's some backwards thinking. Like literally backwards thinking. But you know, you can't tell modern woman nothing nowadays, personally. All right, let's keep going. Where was I? Okay. Oh, here I am.
It's like something you wished for a long time, then you couldn't have it. You know what I mean? That's like that makes me suffer a lot. That's why I have
and he
so
took
much.
and he took that away from you.
That's why I have so much hate. That's why I did this.
Yeah.
I've never done this. I swear I've never done this to anyone in my life.
Done
Right.
what?
People
But, I
have
mean,
hurt me in the past.
Just the fact he took that away from you, I mean, how could you even help yourself but go after him like this, right?
I don't know what you're trying to say, but
Well, I'm just saying.
I did
I'm
what
just
I
saying,
did.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like you said, you've never done this to anybody. You've never felt hatred like this.
I've never.
And that's never. I mean, because he took this away from you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, he deserves everything that's coming to him and then some, doesn't he?
Moving on in the video, at the 1:12:50 mark in that video, I think you were talking about Noelle. You said that Noelle, she's a victim because he slept with her without a condom and nutted in her without telling her. Okay. But you said you don't view yourself as a victim, right?
Not necessarily. Like, I did consent to have sex with him, and I did go through with having sex without a condom, but
And you consented to that, just to be
without
clear.
a condom, yes. But prior, I told him I don't want children out of wedlock.
Okay, sure.
I wanted him to use a condom at first,
Right.
but in that moment, it just didn't happen. But you don't just go and nut in someone like without their permission. Like, imagine
This guy's a gambler. He's just.
But the problem is, why are you here with her? What's your purpose? What is your purpose? You says okay. Now you come back, dole down, and say you felt violated and you felt that he coerced you. Do you see the fuckery of this, guys? Me covering this, I'm getting really annoyed now covering this. This is some nonsense now. This is really becoming really not stupid now and real goofy. You trying to sue this man for what again? You're on this podcast and you already telling the co-host that you consent to that. If I drop the link, you guys got, if you could mind the language, I would appreciate. I'll drop the link in a few minutes. All right. I want to go as far as into this. Matter of fact, who want to come up? I know Shadow say you want to come up. Anybody else want to come up? Say yeah or nay right now, and I'll drop the link. All right, I'll be waiting for y'all in your response. Fair use, fair use.
Just playing Russian roulette.
Imagine
with
you're having sex with
pregnancies, bro.
someone. Imagine you're having sex with someone. They just punch you in the face.
Whoa.
And then they say, "Oh,
Some
I'm
girls
sorry."
are into that,
Yeah,
though.
and then they say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm into
Just
BDSM."
saying.
At that point, it's assault because you didn't talk about that prior.
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
should.
So
have
we talked about
that.
it prior.
You talked about it prior. Yeah.
Yes, and you would think he would get. Yeah, I probably should knock.
Now you know, Great Pill, you want to come up and get some of this. Come on, bro. Fair use, fair use.
This girl up.
I'll get to that in a little bit here, but at the 117.50 mark, you said, "Don't let a man take advantage of you." I think that's you, Daisy. You said, "Don't let a man take advantage of you." Do you feel that Fresh took advantage of you?
Yes.
I'm just curious how.
Because he won't really planning a future with me, but he told me he was. So that got me fooled. So I decided to have a kid with this person. He was.
So he was a good talker.
Yeah.
He would just say stuff to you guys.
And
that
he made me feel like he was serious.
He made you feel what? How old are you again? You are 28 years of age, if I'm right. Okay, you're 28. You better be 29. The end of this year. You don't sound like a little girl to be playing these type of games. No one's convinced you or trying to play with your emotions. You know what's funny that I noticed, gentlemen? There are two things women are going to not pay attention to and going to pretty much not avoid, but they're going to let slide. One, if you have alleged a lot of money and have some form of status, or two, you look attractive, appealing enough that you're that type of dude that can get away with anything just by telling enough, and she'll just fall on her knees because you're attractive male. It's one or the other. If this is a regular dude that she's not attracted to and having status, she will not be falling for it. She would immediately turn to the hills. But because this man has some form of status, he's not the best looking, but he has some form of status, she let everything go over her head. This is what I'm starting to notice. This is why a lot of men say don't take a lot of modern women really seriously, to be honest with you. And he writes, everyone should just keep it fresh, being consent hypocrites. When we keep pushing and hoping on all these platforms, someone will step up. Yes, ma'am, Emily, for your response when she shows her pictures. What pictures you look for? Great Pill. Can you elaborate? All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
I'm telling you, I have a lot of dating experience, but this man, he's very good. He was like, even before a week he broke up with me, he was like,
no, you don't got a lot of dating experience. If you were so experienced, you would not be falling so victim to these games. Right there, she just told herself. If you're well experienced, one, you would not even allow yourself to get pregnant by some dude that alleged that might be have a lot of money. You would try to find ways to get a full commitment where there's gonna be some form of a ring involved. You were not seeking marriage. No, you were not seeking marriage. Stop it. You were seeking something out the deal. You need to trap this dude with something. That's the thing that's going to come to mind to a lot of these dudes. And I'm starting to heavily believe that. Real talk. Is it pictures of her pregnancy? You asking for a Gray? All right, let's keep going.
oh, I'm planning a long term. I'm gonna get us a house. What if you get pregnant?
Okay. So you feel like he was leading you on?
Yeah. I am okay. Just like anybody, just tell me I don't want a relationship. I don't want to have kids. Even though before him, I was single for a while. I was okay.
Wait, one question. So you said you guys were in love, right?
Yes.
How soon after meeting him did you say, "I love you"?
That's before I went back to China.
So how long would you say you had been dating before?
2 months.
2 months, okay.
Yeah. And that's
quick.
that's
Pretty
after I
quick.
met his mother.
Takes me 3 years to say that shit.
Quick. It's because he said
his mother.
You met the mom? The moms?
Yeah, multiple
Okay.
times. He took me to his country, Barbados, to his mother and his entire family. So, like, I don't know what that means. I've never
Daisy,
seen any...
what were you looking for out of him? Like, if he stepped up, like, financially, and he told you, you know, I don't want the baby, but I will take care of you. I'll take care of the baby's financial needs. Would that have changed the outcome of your abortion?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my goodness!
So, like, if the father...
See, there you go. There you go. There you have it, guys. There you have it, gentlemen. There you have it. No, bro, I'm not asking. I'm saying she's going to show all her before pictures. The podcast. Oh, okay. Now I see you talking about Great Pill. You're going to have to go back to the last live stream. The last live stream, I played that segment. I can't do it here because I'm doing the part 2 of this. I was not gonna really do the other part because it was so lengthy. I broke up in halves. This is the other half of this particular live stream. So if you want the pictures of him before she the before and after picture of her, what she looked like, you got to go back to the other live stream. All right, and it's one before this one. All right, cool. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
Is there, and the father is a good guy, and he provides.
Yeah, so you just wanted someone to provide,
not financially, not necessarily just financially.
Come on, baby. Stop it. You ain't gonna raise that baby by yourself without no fucking money. Stop it. This man's alleged so-called, I guess, maybe $1 million or maybe close to that. Are you gonna be raising this baby by yourself in thin air? No, you need some money for this. How we know? Because you didn't want to be a wife. You want to be a goddamn baby mama. Stop the cap. Matter of fact, where's that? Let me find that part of the video. This the video I'm talking about. You want to be a goddamn single mother.
Now you a single. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom. Now you a single.
You want to be a single mom. Stop it. You said it on the last live stream I did, and now you're not admitting it right now, but that's what you wanted. Stop the cap. Fair use.
I mean, financially and physically and like emotionally to the kid.
Yeah.
Because the kid deserves both parenthood. Because I didn't have it when I was young. My mom left me when I was 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just...
But my question is that if he told you, you know, I don't want to be part of the baby's life, but I will take care of you guys financially, you and the baby, and you know,
that's not okay.
No.
Okay.
And that's fair.
A couple more things. So
that's fair.
I guess I'm just curious, like, so why try to expose him? Like, because it seemed like you were trying to paint him, like, I don't know, as a hypocrite or a deadbeat or not a Christian man because he wanted an abortion. But it seems very clear that, at least from kind of the conversation we've had and from some of the stuff that's, you know, been talked about on the internet, like, it seems like you had no intention of actually keeping the baby. Is that fair to say?
I had intention when I called him.
Okay.
And even though when things happened, I still wasn't sure. I was like going back and forth, thinking what to do. Like,
you were on the fence.
Only I think actually I went to the parenthood twice. First time when I tried to get rid of it, I didn't. I left.
Right.
I was crying. I didn't.
Okay.
And I did it. I went back the second time.
But so
can I ask just briefly?
Yeah.
I was just curious if I get some clarification. Have you ever taken plan?
Oh, before we go in this, you know what time is, guys. You know the drill. You know what to do.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty, bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Come on. Support the channel, guys. Super chat or Cash App. Enable, support the channel. I know y'all guys sitting and enjoying this. And I'm not sure anybody actually covered this. Now that I think about it. And I think the reason why they didn't cover it because they got tired seeing this chick. Personally, they got tired. They know she's running a game here. All right, you went and got rid of the baby. Okay, fine. Life moves on. You didn't have to do it, but you did it anyway. You sit there going around trying to, I guess, destroy this man's character if you want to go there. How successful are you really going about doing it? Is the biggest question. Right now, it don't seem like you're picking up waves or steam trying to destroy Fresh's character. Even to the point that people that watch this channel, and I'm gonna tell you people a side note. Fresher Fit's audience is not women. Fresher Fit's audience is, unfortunately, men. And because Fresher Fit's audience is men, this thing what these ladies are doing is not going to help in their cause destroying these two gentlemen. So they can keep fighting and keep doing this and keep going to podcast after podcast and showing their little weak tape. It's not going to get them any closer to really get him close to jail or whatever. And trust me, Fresh is not going to pay this chick. For let everybody know. Your best bet was you should have kept the baby and maybe put him on child support like everything else. But no, here's the funny thing about it. Did y'all know? You know what? I got a better idea. I'm gonna ask the people that's in the chat room. But first, before I do that,
But they be knocking, y'all. The sonic rings up out of it, and you.
thank you again for Tevin King's $20 super chat. I appreciate Tevin. As always, you are supporting the channel, which is a beautiful thing. I don't know if it's you, Tevin, or somebody that was in my chat room. Do anybody know the child support laws in Florida? Because last time I checked, those are one of them states that you don't want to get caught getting hit with child support. Last time I checked. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. If anybody knows, put in the chat room. Thank you again for your super chat, Tevin King.
B or any contraception of any kind before?
No, we don't have this thing. Like we have like an emergency pill. If someone like
in China?
Yeah. But we don't have birth control like that. We have.
Yeah. Have you ever taken that emergency pill before?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, before all this.
Not with Walter, yeah, but if.
No, I know, but in China, you've taken it before.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. How does that one work? You have to wait till you're pregnant and then you take it.
Or you take it like the morning after.
I can take within 48 hours.
Wait, so Andrew, I think when it comes to the plan with the Plan B pill, it's possible that you can take that pill prior to conception.
Sure. That's why I'm asking about this specific pill she's talking about. I'm just wondering,
right?
Do you have to conceive, or how does that pill in China, the emergency pill, work?
So after the intimacy, you can take it within 72 hours. That's the maximum time.
Okay, and you have taken those pills before, right?
I had, yeah, because.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, so when you were trying to, because like it seems your goal is to like expose him. Expose him for like being a pro-choicer, being a deadbeat. Is that?
Yes.
But like, so why try to expose him for that when, I mean, you opted to get the abortion. So why expose him for essentially?
When I did it was just like very emotional, like I was just very, very mad at that time, and I didn't want to get an abortion at that time when I exposed it. I only decided later, because things get really worse, and he never showed up after that. It's like he gave me no choice.
Well, hold on. I mean, plenty of women who are pregnant, but even if the dad's totally out of the picture.
Yeah.
And
in this country, but not in my country. It's not something very uncommon. Men take accountability in China. If they impregnate a woman, they will take responsibility. It's something that's abnormal for me.
But he's
because
an American, right? Or
that's
is
why I
from
didn't
Barbados or
like. I didn't know. Like I only got here last year on.
Well, you were
October.
planning to stay.
Hold on. So that means you don't know. You've not been in America long enough, but you think you're gonna follow the same customs where you are in China that's gonna apply here in America. Kevin, where are you, man? Where are you, Kevin? I need Kevin to do this. Y'all know what it is.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
You can't make this up, man. Are you serious? You came to a unknown land, and I understand most people that's foreign, they don't understand the laws, how America works. I get it, but that's still not. You gotta move better than this. You think every man is going to hold accountability, and you allow yourself just to get pregnant? That's not how it works here in America. Usually, America, it should be even with accountability, but we all know in America they want to put more blame to the man for every little thing, which I don't agree. But okay, but let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, people. She believes that allowing her to get raw diggy dog, like literally raw diggy dog, and she thinks that man should say, "I'm sorry, I'm going to handle it," and you deliberately allow it for a whole month. That means you're fully invested in this man, and he was invested in you in regards to giving you money. That don't sound like a smart remedy. Let me read Tevin's chat. She got to gain from all this fiasco over the pure embarrassment for herself. Yeah, she was very embarrassed. And I'll be honest with you, Tevin, I think she after it's all said and done, I believe she's gonna go back to China. The reason why she's still in America because she wants to get some out of America. And I'm gonna do y'all a favor since we're on here. I'm gonna check how much the currency is in America and the yuan in China. Let me do that now. Because I'm gonna see if this guy, if she was able to get money from Walter, I'm gonna throw out some money. All right, good. So I'm gonna share this. And I'm gonna, because the tape's only gonna be like another 5, 7, 8 minutes, and then we're gonna soon call us a day. All right. Presents. We're gonna do this. All right. Let's look at this. No money. We're gonna look at China. Oh, let me make myself bigger so I can see this. I can't see it from this. Perfect. All right. Let's look at China's currency. There's two Chinas. There's the China yuan renminbi offshore, and there's the yuan renminbi. So we're gonna look at the offshore. Now I could be wrong, but we'll pick between two cities difference. Let's say she gets like a 30K settlement, or let's say 5K. We'll do 5K. She'll get $36,000 in Chinese currency exchange. So let's say, and that's just a civil lawsuit. Let's say she's able to get more. Let's say Roger pays her 30K. You look at $217,000. That's a lot of money if he decided to give her more than 5K. Or we can go back. Let's say she give this chick 15K to shut the hell up. She's gonna get $1,000. All right. So let's check the that's the offshore. Let's check the other one from China. If I can find it. Let's start with let's say she get 5,000. Oh, sorry. 5,000. That's 36,000. Let's say 15,000. 15K. 108. Let's say 30K. Oh, my phone. So right there, either or, if she gets some more than 5,000 more, she's getting something, but not a lot. The most she gonna push for is maybe 20 and up. Cause right there, you see the amount she'll get back if she goes back home, converted, she get this amount. Let that sink in, gentlemen. Let that sink in. Let's keep going. Fair use, fair use.
You're right. Like
well, now wait, no, hang on, wait a second. I'm confused, and maybe you can clarify this for me. If you have taken this pill before in China, but you say that the culture in China is that they always take accountability, why take the pill?
Because sometimes you have casual sex and things could happen.
Okay, so this, so when you were having casual sex in China, so when you would have casual sex in China from time to time, you would take this pill to prevent yourself from conceiving. Okay, I just wanted to get clarification on this. Go ahead, Brian, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just seems like, so the efforts to expose him and ruin his reputation for precisely the same behavior and conduct that you ultimately did. You wanted to expose him. Here's this Christian man who tried to get me to get an abortion. Here's this guy who seems like he's going to be a deadbeat. But you got an abortion, so I'm just like, why expose him for conduct that you're basically his conduct is your conduct?
I told you when I exposed him, I didn't want to do the abortion.
I think what he's trying to say is he's trying to, like, you kind of enabled him to do that to you because there was all these signs, like, you know, he's not a good dad. If you watch Fresh and Fit, he's not boyfriend, not husband.
I don't watch Fresh and Fit, and
what?
It just comes like you basically just got like
why expose him if you agreed to his terms?
I don't agree his term.
But
No,
you
but why-
did it, but you went through with the abortion. That's what we're saying. That's what he wanted you to do, and you went through with it. So you kind of did agree to his terms.
Because you didn't have to have the
Boom. You saw that? You hear that? You went through with it. And that's what he wanted. And you went through. What it says there? You see the dead silence? Silence. Silence. That's how I like it. You ask the right question, they give you that dead silence.
abortion, you know, you.
Yeah, but people.
Well, but hang on. In her defense, though, right? He deserved to be. Hang on. In your defense, he deserved to be punished for this. You know, I mean, he deserved it, right?
Yes. Then what's the point? Like, what the question about here? Like, if you think I did wrong by leaking his message, fine, I accept it. But if you say he didn't do anything wrong, I don't agree with it. Like, I don't see what's the argument here? Like,
I'm not saying I'm not making any accusations at all. I'm just saying, in your defense, if something like that happened to me, and I felt like I was fooled in some way, or I felt kind of like I had been made a fool of, I would be super upset, and I would want to get some revenge on a person. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened to me, that's how I would feel. I would literally feel like I needed to get some kind of revenge on them for making me feel like I was a fool.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
You would?
What's that?
I said you would.
Yeah, I mean, don't you? Don't you feel like that too?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I guess that's my perspective too, right?
Okay,
like,
I understand what you mean right now.
Yeah. Okay. I'll turn it back over to Brian.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like in this situation, though, you said that he forced you to get the abortion. But I'll know, at least here in the United States, Nick, could you close that? So here in the United States, I mean, Walter and men in general have really zero reproductive rights at all. So as a woman, if you want to abort the child, you can. If you want to keep it, you can. There's nothing a man can do in either scenario to either force you to keep it or force you to get an abortion. Now, it could certainly be the case that the man in a scenario where a woman's pregnant could be a terrible father. I'm not making that accusation towards Fresh, but just to make an argument. Just because a man's would be a deadbeat or, you know.
Damn, these men go through cigarettes daily, man. I don't know if that's his third or fourth cigarette he just gone through. He just lapped another one. Like, man, my dude, you about to get. I'm leave it alone, leave it alone. Fair use, fair use.
He's causing you stress. That would not be him forcing you to get an abortion.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Coercion for abortion is actually illegal in all 50 states. There is laws against this.
Well, when you say coercion, what do you mean precisely?
I mean, intimidating somebody, threatening them online, embarrassing them. You could look all of this up online.
Okay, let me look it up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
coercion,
to respond to this, I actually would agree that coercion to make somebody do anything, regardless of what it is, would be a crime in all 50 states, not just abortion, right?
Like, if you're a man and you're going to knock someone up, the best bet is to just not tell them to abort it and let them make the decision for themselves instead of telling them, oh, I can't afford it, or, oh,
yeah,
if you
sure,
don't do this.
but to my point, if you don't mind responding to my point, coercion for anything would be illegal in all 50 states, correct?
Yeah.
So it's not specific to abortion, it's specific to anything which you utilize coercion, which is why coercion is such a specific term. Usually coercion has some type of implicit threat of violence or something like this. I mean, surely neither of you ever felt like you were physically threatened by Walter, right? Like you certainly didn't
By
feel
his
threatened.
partner, yes.
You felt physically threatened by Walter?
Yeah, not Walter, but I believe
not Walter.
I believe Myron represents Walter because he was silent, and Myron was saying that he wished he's a woman so he can punch me in the face, he can beat me up, and all.
Well, you know, Myron, he is a Arab man, so he that's how they do it in the Middle East. They actually, you know, put mud hole stumps in the ladies of the Middle East. You know, yeah, man, they don't play. They will ooh up, man, if you're a woman. But then in America, there's a little bit of rules that you can't do certain things like that. But if you back home where Myron lives, oh girl, you better get Turner like it's no tomorrow. He's gonna be giving the backhand, front hand, side hand. It'll be so uncivilized. But let's continue. Fair.
That like he
but
on public
that's
he
not,
said that
well,
many
but you
times.
just said, hang on, but you just said that you didn't feel any type of coercion from Walter. Like you didn't feel physically threatened from him. Neither of you felt physically threatened from Walter. I mean, I heard the call, and Walter said in the call, he said, well, what are you going to do about it? And he said, nothing. He said, nothing. I'm not going to do anything about it. That doesn't sound like a threat.
Is he a part of Fresh and Fit?
Well, sure. But if I was let's assume for a second that me and Brian were partners on whatever. We're not, but assume that we were. If Brian said bad things about you and I didn't say bad things about you, how would that be me coercing you? I don't understand. That wouldn't be me doing anything to you. So I'm just saying, if you didn't feel actually physically threatened in any way by Walter or either of you,
his company, who represent him, did.
I'm sorry, say that again. I just want to make sure I heard it correctly.
His company.
Oh yeah, his company. But did his company ever physically threaten you, or?
Fresh and Fit represents Walter Weeks.
Well, no, wouldn't Walter represent Fresh and Fit?
And his lawyer told him to not say anything.
Shout out James Sexton.
Yeah, and then so he couldn't say anything, so he decided to let Myron to do everything. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, but I mean, you would have to hold Myron responsible for that, right? But Walter himself, did either of you actually, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. Did either of you ever actually feel threatened in any way, shape, or form physically from Walter?
No.
I didn't
No.
know.
No.
There you go.
No, but neither of you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I pulled this up. So I mean, at least the initial definition here from Oxford Dictionary. I just typed this into Google. Coercion, the practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. So is it your guys' position that he coerced either of you in any way?
They have a site, CAFA, the Center of Abortion something, but there's specific laws on abortion coercion.
Okay.
Yes, they do have specific laws on that.
Okay.
All right. That's it. That's it. And that's the end of the show, guys. I've been here for a while. Yeah. In conclusion to this other segment, I believe Miss Chen and her friend are trying to get some money off Walter, and good luck to that. I don't care what they say about corrosion and all that stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, unless you know a lawyer and able to really get some on the man, it's gonna be hard for you to make some money off it. And like I said before, early on or even during the stream, I check how much she would get if, let's say, Walter concedes and gives her in penalties in regards to, I would say, a check. If it was anything beyond, let's say 10K, you're looking at she's gonna get either over 50K or 100K roughly for her trouble in Chinese currency, because she definitely not gonna keep the money. If she get the money from America, she's gonna take it and go back home where it could be more spent, in my opinion. But that's just me. Last comment. In the state of Florida, both parents have a legal obligation to support their child according to their ability to do so. Florida follows the income share model, which means courts estimate the amount. Okay. Thank you, Tevin. I appreciate it. And thank you for your super chat, say, brother. You surely is not only the sponsor, but you do keep the Chaos Rain show afloat tonight. I appreciate it. Bless up yourself, Kevin. Respect. That's it for today's stream, guys. Please leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts of this stream on the 4B movement and even the other part of the Miss Daisy Chen. Ken writes again. Parents would spend on their child or children if the families were still living together in one house. Yeah, they would. They should. The links to follow me are the following below. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos27. Add me at a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Join my Discord service. And follow my Rumble page, CRain23 on Rumble. You know I got Rumble handler, so please follow me on Rumble. It's in the chat room in the description of this video. CRain23. It's not hard to find. And last but not least, y'all know the deal. Become a member of the Chaos Rain show. As the membership is starting to slowly pick up, not as I expected, but yeah, start somewhere. So become a member. As you know, I got a new members only video. Only way you're gonna find out, you gotta become a member. The first tier to find out what I said about Mr. P. Diddy. And you know, there's also other memberships. There's also a top tier membership as well. The top tier membership, you get certain live streams that are actually very much raw cut. And trust me, you will like it if you know. But that's as far as I'm going. And next comment, 10 writes, if she was better off keeping, she would off kept the child that's 800 to 113 a month. And be honest with you, that is somewhat of a start, Tevin, but the problem is that ain't in New York City and in Florida. Personally, that money, if she was able to keep that, if she can go back to China, if the laws permit it, she can make more use of that. And matter of fact, since you lay that out, and I'm gonna do this quickly because I gotta end this. Let me see. Let's go with 1,300. Let's see how much that is in Chinese yuan. Look what we have here, guys. Let me share this to y'all so y'all can see this. This is the last thing I'm gonna do. See that? If she take that back her home in China, she be making 9,400 a month. That goes a long way in China. Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And it was 800, you know, which we know it's gonna be like 1,000 and something. It's not gonna be 800. It was 800. It's 5,000. So either or, that money's gonna go much better overseas than in America. But you be judged. All right, guys. So those are the links to follow me. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe to the Chaos Rain channel. And like always, till next time, let chaos reign.